closer than you think. It's not a tournament. It's what you don't see on TV. The cash is real. The stakes are high. They bet big. They win big. They lose big. High stakes live action poker. Live at the bike. Watch it live on the web or play it if you dare at the Bicycle Casino right here in Los Angeles.
Hello everyone, welcome to Tuesday, live at the bike. Normally it's 300 to 500, but we're into our first week of the American Poker Classic, so we're going to be spreading this 500 game as much as we can. I assume tomorrow, though, we're going to be doing our bigger game, whale game.
Probably.
Whether 25-50, 20-40.
I think it's going to be a 20-40 game tomorrow.
Okay, 20-40 no limit. So we got some of the same players that we usually see on Tuesday, plus, of course, some new players. So let's get right to it. Let's head over to the action.
Let's do it.
No Robert Roeder tonight. But.
Seat number one, we've got Eric, former professional baseball player. Chowing down on some salad there.
Currency trader.
Currency trader, okay. Seat number two, we've got Kelsey. His name is David Kelsey. We call him Kelsey. And he's a little extreme tonight. What's he drinking?
You don't even know why I was quiet.
He was like a monk.
Oh, he's drinking shots of tequila tonight. Seat number three, we've got Dudley. And Dudley was on the show last week. He's an antique dealer.
Yeah.
And we saw him kind of go through about $1,000 last week. See if he has better luck today. Seat number four, we've got He-Man.
You don't even know why I was quiet.
He's been on the show numerous times. Seat number five, we've got JR. He was actually on the show. Wait a second.
Is that
different JR?
He doesn't know.
There we go.
Different JR.
That is a different JR. I looked at the name and I was, no, not JR again, but this is a different JR. And he's a pretty solid player also. Seat number six, we've got John.
Yeah, but you were okay after he did that. You were still talking.
And good old John. Seat number seven, we've got Gus.
You don't even know me.
Gus normally in seat number three.
You don't even know me.
Wearing the black sunglasses, no hat. Seat number eight, we've got Bob, though, wearing the red cap and the black jacket. And seat number nine, we've got none other than the BB man.
Dr. BB, kind of like the breadfruit of Live at the Bike.
That's a great analogy there. The breadfruit. I like that.
Have you ever had breadfruit before?
I avoid it at all functions. You know, it's funny, I talked to BB about that email that said they tried to contact him, and he did say, he goes, I don't chat ever.
So it's just a coincidence that he left.
Just, yeah, coincidence.
The guy's Jewish. Who does the KKK?
We're into the first hand of the night here. We can't see the cards, so we're going to ignore this hand.
You don't understand. What you don't understand
You can
is...
see that He-Man's got the jack of hearts. C5's got 9-6. He's flopped the straight, but there's 3 hearts up there. He also has the 6 of hearts in his hand.
That's a pretty big hand, huh? 9-6.
Unless somebody has a flush, obviously. And he's going to take it down. So as always, we like to keep the show interactive. You can email us at liveatthebike.com. Follow a thread. Start on the internet by going to 2plus2.com, spelled out. Click on forums. Tournament Poker, World Poker Tour, etc. Official Live at the Bike thread for May 23rd. We're playing 5-10 no limit. It's an uncapped buy-in. The game is playing rather small. Yellow chips are $5 chips. Purples are 25s. Whites are 100s. I'd say the only player that really has bought in for more than 1,000 is Dr. BB over there in seat 9.
Yeah, you're right. I got to at this table, I would actually buy in for a lot of chips, just to kind of have that feeling, like everybody would look over and know that I'm there to play, you know? Because it's not like anybody can hurt me. The only guy who would have me covered, if I say, let's say I bought in for, say, $2,500 or $3,000, the only player who can hurt me is BB, and anytime he puts any chips in the pot, I'm going to throw away.
And Kelsey is going to raise it up here to 40. He's got ace-10. I'm going to imagine with the stack sizes, the pre-flop raises are probably going to be rather small.
And they probably should be. I mean, when you only have $500, obviously you're not going to raise it 65, 75 pre-flop.
Eric limped in here with ace-7 suited from up front, and he's going to make the call.
Tough hand to play out of position.
He is dominated. Well, Kelsey's got the nut flush draw here, 5-6-3. Eric checks, and Kelsey checks right behind him. Turn is an ace. Now both players have aces.
And Eric's in terrible shape here, obviously.
He checks.
Eric needs a 7 that is not a spade, or a 4 that is, I'm sorry, not a heart, or a 4 that is not a heart.
I can tell you, that ace doesn't really change that much. Again, with ace-7 out of position, not necessarily looking for an ace here.
No.
I think he just showed him the ace, so I assume he's going to fold.
You can look at it if you want. Come on, lay
I think
down.
Eric showed Kelsey the ace.
Raise it or lay down.
But he's going to call, and that's great if you're Kelsey, because you probably figure, I don't know if you necessarily, is it your hand good enough to bet on the river? Well, now
Oh,
the river's
wow,
a
look
4.
at that. What a bad beat.
And look at this, Eric, he makes a straight, but he checks it on the river.
How do you check that?
Wow.
I don't know how you check that.
I don't know, maybe they agreed to check it down.
I mean, Eric's in terrible shape there, obviously.
Yeah.
He only had, what do you have? 5 outs, 3 4s, and 2 7s.
Unbelievable.
With 1 card to come. Hits the 4 spades, takes the pot down, and doesn't bet it.
You know it's live at the bike when the bad beats come on the first couple of hands.
Yeah.
Live poker is rigged, right?
Live at the bike. Pretty exciting stuff.
Bud moves over here to seat 5.
I don't think anybody got that.
Pocket Kings here for seat 8. That's Bob, and he's going to bring it in for a $35 raise.
You know what? I like the way you say that name.
Bob,
Yeah.
as opposed to...
I'm just giving you a compliment, man. I like
Okay.
the way you say, that's Bob.
Eric is going to call here with Queen Jack. Now, look at Kelsey. He's called a $35 raise with 7-6 of clubs. And this game is almost like a 300 or 500 game. Can you make that call if the guy who's the raiser only has 400?
I think in this case you can because Eric has also called.
Yeah.
So you're already getting 2 to 1 on your money, plus the implied odds, plus if you call, there's a chance that might bring in one of the blinds.
And that might make Gus call as well here. 'cause
Well, that's
he's
the whole
got
point.
4 or 5 of clubs.
And oftentimes, Gus is not going to call anyway. But oftentimes, if you call, you might get one more caller in there. Suddenly, you're getting 3 to 1 plus implied odds. I don't mind that.
Well, that's not the flop that Bob was looking for there, but he still has the best hand, and he's going to lead.
Yeah, a little continuation bet, and that should get it done, obviously.
And there it is.
There it is. It was kind of funny. I played last night, and I played a little 10-20 no-limit hold'em. And I was playing at a table with Corporation Mike, a bunch of the regulars, Bert and Alan and all these players. And Mike was up to his usual shenanigans, raising every
Mike's been
pot.
killing the games here, huh?
He had a really bad, say, 2-week stretch, and then he's had a really good week stretch, and that's Mike pretty much. He's going to have those big swings. But I kind of changed gears last night. I went into the game and I told myself, I'm going to play it pretty tight tonight, and I'm really going to pick my spots and not gamble as much.
Well, Ace King of Diamonds here for Dudley, the antique dealer, in seat 3. Pocket 9's over there in the big blind. And he is going to limp with Ace King of Diamonds here.
It's a way to play it, I guess.
Well, if it's suited, it's a little bit differently. We talk about sometimes those suited cards can play a little bit better multi-way. But you got to remember, if you're going to play it in this manner, if you flop just a dry ace or a king, you can't go bust on
Now,
it.
is Dudley going to re-raise this? And I think he is. He's going to do a limp re-raise here with the Ace King of Diamonds. And we see this all the time, and I don't understand. Ace King of Diamonds is not a hand I really want to limit the field against one other player. Do I?
Well, he's going to make it 100 more, and you know what? If Bob misses the flop, you wonder if he's going to continue on with 9.
You wonder if he's going to continue at all right now.
Well, again, he can't make this call just trying to hit his set.
No,
he might
definitely
take
not.
a flop and evaluate what happens here, Dave, but if he thinks he's behind now, he shouldn't call. So if he calls, does that mean that he's got the best hand?
Well, he probably has the best hand now.
Well, now he's flopped a set of 9s, and he checks. And look at this, Dudley checks right behind him. Well, the turn is the 3rd spade.
It really should be pretty easy for Dudley to get away, and look at that.
And Bob's going to move in here.
Yeah, the 3rd spade kind of scared him. He doesn't want another spade to come off. Easy lay down here for Dudley. He's got no pair, no draw.
You know what? I don't mean, play devil's advocate with you there, Dave. I mean, this game, it's almost like a restricted game. They're playing short stack, but I had a hand like this similar where I had a set.
Yeah.
Times with the aces there. If you're playing deep stack and you make a gross bet here on the turn, after the guy checked the flop, Do you want to commit that much money? What I mean by that is, can you only get called by a hand that beats you unless maybe he checked aces with the ace of spades on the flop?
I mean, in this case, with pocket nines.
Yeah. I mean, might the guy have... I guess, like I said, though, with these stack sizes, if the guy checked a set of jacks there, I don't think you're going to get away from it anyway, so...
No, I mean, at this point, maybe you get called by... Probably not. No, you're right. You probably don't get called by hands.
Well, maybe you get called by an overpair if
Or
the guy
you-
was trying to play it tricky.
Or I mean, maybe you get called by ace-king with the ace of spades. Or ace-queen with the queen. Something like that.
You heard me. Yes, I heard you. A mile away.
But some players play it scared like that. They see a third spade out there. They don't want to just lose. So... they figure
Pocket
the pot-
jacks here for Dr. Beebe in seat 9.
Figure the pot is big enough. Now, it's funny, I was saying that I changed gears last night. I played it real tight, a little bit out of character for me. And it was funny, I only raised maybe 3 times in a span of 4 hours, yet I got paid off every single time.
Gus is going to make it 35, and Beebe is just going to call. Boy, I got to tell you, I probably re-raised with jacks there 85, 90% of the time
especially
against
Gus, yeah.
Well, he's got the overpair, 9-3-6. And I assume that if I was Gus and I raised with this hand, I'm going to bet this flop. And he
Against
doesn't.
BB, I bet every single time because there's a good chance BB has missed this flop.
Yeah.
And I'm going to bet it, and BB will not call. There's a huge fold equity against BB here.
Well, he chooses to play it. I think Beebe shows him the jacks.
Yeah.
Again, the more and more I play this game, Dave,
Yeah.
the more and more I almost play it a little bit tighter. And I really think there's very little value to raising the button with a hand like King 8. Now, you might make a case that because BB's in the big blind, if he calls, I can fire at the flop, and if he misses, I'm going to take it down. But if he does call, I got to know I'm behind if I've raised with rags.
No, definitely.
You know?
Definitely.
I mean, you're almost risking a lot just for the blinds. Remember,
Right.
No Limit Hold'em is not a battle of the blinds.
No, it isn't, but I will say, I mean, I was playing last night, and for a moment I was in this game, and I was playing actually with Ollie, another tight player, and Dr. Beebe, where they were actually next to each other. And every time it was their blinds, it was my cutoff spot. And I would raise almost every single time when I got to my cutoff spot, only because I knew they probably would not call. And sure enough, like 5 out of 6 times they didn't call.
Limped around here, three-way action. Queen 7-3. Gus has got the best hand here with pocket sixes.
Dudley's picked up the, he still has a gut shot there. Gus is the best hand, though.
Now, is Gus going to bet here?
Well, Dudley's going to bet it.
I'm surprised Gus actually didn't bet the flop. And a $25 bet here by Dudley.
Now, you got to figure now, did this guy pick up a straight draw? Did he pick up a flush draw? Or maybe he's betting a 7 now?
Gus is out of there.
Yeah, Gus is not going to get involved, and Kelsey's going to fold as well. Dudley takes down. Nice bet there. I mean, I'm not for, we always say, we don't think there's that much value to stealing blinds. But, hey, if somebody's going to just give them to you and never defend them, well, in that case, hey, I'll take a free $14. Why not? Anyway, I brought up the point last night that I had changed gears in the 10-20 game and played it really, really tight. I mean,
were you playing the 10-20 game last
yeah,
night?
the 10-20. I jumped into
By the
that.
way, do you have my $5,000?
I do.
Okay, thanks. You got the chip? You're not going to give it to me in cash, are you?
I'll give you the chip.
All right.
Jeez.
I had this dream that, like, I came in and you were going to hand it over to me in cash while I was playing this afternoon. Oh, here's your money back after I gave you a chip last night.
Does it really make a difference?
It's a pain in the ass.
To go to the cashier and go, here, give me a chip?
Well, Kelsey's raised it out of the small blind here. I don't know. Maybe he normally plays. I thought he chopped, but Dudley's going to call. Can't see what Dudley has. He's got Jack 9, and he's in horrible shape.
Yeah, he's
here,
in
Dave.
really bad shape.
Well, King 6 deuce here, a couple spades.
And neither player has a spade. Kelsey's going to put a little continuation bet out there, and that'll probably get it done.
Don't put too much out there.
You know, it's funny. It's so often that people
Easy up.
email us about what is a good hourly for, say, 1-2 no limit or 3-5 no limit. And it's tough to say because we don't play those games that much. But I can give you kind of a roundabout hourly in this game from what I've played, say, over 400 or 500 hours.
Right.
I think if you're a really good player, I think you can make. I think you should be making probably at least 90, maybe 100, all the way up to maybe the best player is 150. an hour. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean it's probably right about the right spot. Obviously, it depends on what kind of game you play. If you're playing in a 5-10 game and most of the games are like this,
Then it's much differently. Obviously.
you might only make $60 or $70 an hour. Where if the games are played with, say, players like Corporation Mike and some free
I remember
rollers.
I got into an argument with some people on 2+2 a couple weeks back regarding how people use this poker tracker big bet stat in No Limit, which is basically double the blinds. So in this game, a one poker tracker big bet would be $20 an hour. So if you made 100, you'd be making 5 poker tracker big bets an hour. But I said that for sites that allow more of a buy-in than just 100 times the blind, that's going to affect your rate. People didn't quite understand that on the internet.
Yeah,
You know, it's
obviously, if you were to give each one of these players $5,000 more, and say, okay, play the same exact game, this game will play drastically different.
Right.
And anybody that doesn't understand that or believe us only needs to watch Live to Bite to see it. Get a raise out of the small blinds here with Jack Deuce.
He's going to make it 70 to go here.
He's got 2 Jack. That's not 2 Jacks, but 2 Jack.
Again, like I said, the more and more I play this game, Dave, the more and more I think it's almost like, you know, since I've gone through the last 4 or 5 months playing this game full time, I think if you play it tighter and well disciplined, especially early position, the better you're going to do. There's just not value in making a raise like that.
No, not usually.
That is such a negative expected value move. You've got to be taggy. You know, everybody out there in internet land knows what that means.
Taggy?
Yeah, tight, aggressive.
I mean, there are some players.
You can also pull off laggy too if you're good at it.
Yeah, I'll say, we've been watching Corporation Mike for a while, and we've really seen his game evolve. You know, I got to tell you, if you can play that style of poker against the right competition, you can really, really be successful.
Right.
You've got to realize that against good poker players. And that was funny. Stan Goldstein actually jumped into the game at some point. And when he jumped in, you saw Mike kind of...
Look, you know what? I just made a mistake on this hand.
You saw Mike kind of step back a little bit because Stan Goldstein wasn't going to put up with what Mike was doing.
Queen Jack 3 here with a couple spades. And he's going to come out and bet. Dudley's going to bet with pocket sevens on the button. He's got the best hand. I don't think he's going to get called by anyone. He-Man's got bottom pair here. He's not going to get involved. And I'll throw this out at you too, Dave. I assume this hand's going to go fold here. I don't think that your bankroll should specifically affect the way that you play a specific hand. But I do think that your bankroll can affect the style you choose to play overall. Like, you might need a larger bankroll to play a laggy style in this game like Corporation
Of course,
Mike, right?
definitely. I mean, Corporation Mike can take $50,000, $75,000 swings.
Right.
And it doesn't affect him psychologically. It doesn't affect him emotionally.
Lifestyle-wise.
It doesn't affect him at all.
Right.
And that gives him the freedom to really be able to, you know, he can buy it for $5,000, really throw those chips around.
Yeah.
Now, where you or I, if we lost $75,000 from our bankroll, you know, that might be a little bit more horrific. And, but having said that, I mean, I'm still, from watching all the poker players that we watch, a lot of times people will say, well, who makes the most money? You know, and in the long run, I wonder who makes the most money, but you look at somebody like Corporation Mike. Now, I think if he were playing against 6 or 7 really, really excellent poker players, he'd be in trouble. But against the lineups that he faces night in and night out, he really does dominate them.
We had a little raise here by Dudley, it looked like, with Jack 10. Excuse me, Eric was the raiser.
Yeah, Eric raised it up with sevens. Dudley actually just threw his $10 in their blind. And then he called blind.
Well, 8-5-6, pretty good flop for Eric here with sevens.
Yeah, if you're not going to hit your set, this is probably the next best thing.
Open-ended straight draw. He does have the best hand as well. Second pair to the board, and he is going to bet.
And he puts out, what, about a $75 bet into about a $75 pot. It's actually 90.
First one is good. Give me the next one. Give me the next one. How much is it?
I don't really know what Dudley's thinking about.
No, I don't think anybody can think about anything here.
Yeah.
Anyway, the point I was trying to bring up, and I keep getting off my train of thought, I was saying that I had changed gears and I played it really tight. I only raised like 3 hands out of 4 hours, which is very unlike me. Usually I'm a little bit more of a kind of a, I'm a little more aggressive at the table. But it was funny that nobody was paying attention to it, though. And I was still getting paid off. I mean, it was almost like nobody had paid attention to the fact that I was playing differently last night. It kind of got me thinking that, wow, if you change gears a little bit, it might take somebody a week or two to get onto you, to figure you out. And then if you change gears again, they'll really never know where you're at.
I don't think that they necessarily will ever figure it out, though.
Yeah, maybe not.
Yeah.
Or maybe they don't care.
Yeah. And Eric has got aces here in C1.
And it's always nice to raise the hand before with garbage, and then pick up aces or kings the next hand.
Diamond and spade. And he makes it 40. And again, with these stack sizes, and the only person that's got a lot of money on the table with BB, and everyone's just got 500, that's probably a good raise with aces to 40.
What was the raise? Yeah.
40.
I think so.
Because it's really borderline, especially if I'm a good player raising with aces, that a guy can really call me with a pocket pair or a suited connector in the spot.
If he's only got $500, no.
Yeah. Now, JR has called him with king 10 of clubs, and the flop comes jack 6-8. Eric's probably going to bet this one and take it down, I assume. I mean, you might make it 50, just kind of that 10 times rule, but you don't necessarily need to make it 65 or 70 with these stacks.
Well, that's the whole thing. I mean, you might think about it normally. Let's say you buy in this game, right? You buy in the 5-10 game for $1,400 or $1,500. And your normal raise is, say, 65. Well, that's pretty much about, 4% of your stack size. Where here, if you only have 750 and you're putting in 40, that's about 6% of your
Look at this
stack.
JR called. Is he setting up a play? Well, if he's setting up a play, he really should use that card as a scare card.
It's a great card.
I mean, if he is setting up a play, you have to use this card.
The scary thing for JR, though, is Eric betting the jack or is he betting an overpair?
And he's going to bet 100 here. And now, with these stack sizes, if you do set a play up now, you have to call the 100 and you move in and you only got 250 left. Now the pot is going to be like $800, 250 for Eric to call, and now JR lays it down.
If he was going to set up a play, though, I'm just not sure what card he was looking for, though.
Yeah.
I mean, was he going to set up 9-10 or 9-7?
Again,
normally straights are a little bit more well hidden than flushes.
You know, I think that JR might have run into the same problem I did against Barry Woods on Friday. I don't necessarily know if he's deep enough to get Eric off of aces there on the turn.
Yeah, maybe. I think you're right there.
You know?
I don't know if you're giving him a little bit too much credit, though. I'm not sure if he was thinking that. I think he might have just been taking one off with the king.
Could be. I don't know if he was thinking that. I'm just saying.
Right.
I don't think he can represent that.
No,
with the
definitely
stack
not.
sizes.
He just doesn't have enough money. At the point where you move in, suddenly you go, okay, the pot's 800. It's 200 for me to call. I'm getting 4-1. Okay, I call. See what happens.
Seat number 2 here is going to raise to 40. David Kelsey with 4-5 of hearts from up front.
And the digs from Barry Woods, I swear, you and him, you guys have this love-hate relationship. It's really great. Barry Woods, of course, makes a response. He goes, Bart, wait, you play this game tighter? What does that mean? Less than the 4 hands you play at the higher limits?
I played more hands than Barry Woods did on Friday.
I know, actually, yeah.
Yeah, Barry Woods thinks I'm a tight ass, but I don't really think that I'm all that tight, Dave. I mean, I think I do play it kind of tight pre-flop, but I adapt to the table.
No, Barry clearly on, on Friday night?
Yeah.
Barry clearly had his panties on.
Limping in, completing in the small blind with ace-king. Right.
And then folding. Check folding. Limping in with king-queen on the button.
Butt moves over here to seat number 8.
No, I do not. I do not have it last longer with Jay Siegel tonight. I would have.
Are they doing another shootout over there?
They're doing another shootout. And these are shootouts, actually, for it.
These are double shootouts.
It's a double shootout.
A daily double shootout. The winner of the 100, I think it's 130, isn't it? Or is it 140?
140.
winner gets to play in the finals, which is a one-table satellite for a main event seat at Legends, which is worth $10,000.
Right. Exactly.
Three-way action here. It's limped around. Queen 7-5 here. Well, Eric's got the best hand here with Jack 7. He's going to check. And it's going to get checked around here. Turns an ace. Let's see if someone's going to represent something here, Dave. And Gus is going to take a shot at it.
Come on, make it. Yes!
He bets 30.
Come on, guys. Make it.
And I think that's going to get it done.
Yeah, nobody can call this.
Yep.
Once again, we're live at the bike. I'm David Tuckman here with Bart Hansen. It's Tuesday, May 23rd, and you are watching No Limit Hold'em, 5-10 blinds, $500 unrestricted buy-in game. This game's kind of playing more like a 3 to 5 game, but it is an unrestricted buy-in game.
Button moves over here to Dr. Beebe in seat 9. Dave, you're actually going to New York over this upcoming weekend, right? You're not going to be here on Monday? Or Friday, too?
No, Friday I'm here.
Yeah.
I'm actually flying out on Saturday morning.
So you're not going to stick around on Friday here?
No, I'm not going to play Friday.
Yeah. Get that flight out of Burbank. Yeah, there are direct flights from Burbank to New York.
JetBlue.
Oh, cool.
Gotta love it.
And how far away from the airport do you live? Like 5 minutes?
Yeah, 3 minutes. Yeah.
Oh, that's great. As opposed to having to go down to LAX
Oh, yeah.
where you live.
And there's like no security. It's great.
Yeah, great.
Terrorists can just
Those
walk on in.
transcontinental flights. Or what? I guess not trans, but would it be transcontinental?
Yeah, it's transcontinental.
Yeah. I've never flown JetBlue.
It's nice.
Yeah, I heard it was.
Yeah, direct TV in each seat, leather seats.
A little bit more room. Yeah.
I mean, I'm not a big guy, but it's
Limped
nice.
around here 4 ways.
$40 pot here. Ooh, wow.
Queen
How about a set of
6-4.
fours for He-Man?
Yep, set of 4s here.
Now, is Kelsey going to get involved with Queen 7? I don't think so.
Well, Kelsey's going to bet. Let's see what He-Man does. It is a connected board. He's got one player behind him and a player in the blind from up front. He is just going to call. He's going to slow play the set.
Now, with the blinds being relatively, pretty big compared to each person's chip stacks.
Oh, the turn's a 7, but it's a third heart. Now, Kelsey's made queens up. But I got to tell you, if someone was on a straight draw, maybe a gut shot in hearts, obviously the heart gets there, some sort of straight draw. Maybe like a 5-3 would get there as well, and he's going to bet. He bets 75. And this is probably just a check call here from Kelsey. Or he might not. And you know what? Look, for the stack size, if you think you're beat here, I guess you would lay it down, right?
If you don't think you're beat, you might have to move in. I mean, it's tough play here. I see. Look, he asked him there. He goes, "Do you have a set?"
And he's going to make the call. And the worst card for He-Man here would be a queen or a 7. That would be the worst card. Obviously, a 4th heart might kill all the action. Well, the river's an ace. Dave, the pot is now about $300. If Kelsey checks to you, I think you might move in here. If Kelsey's only got 300 left, if you move in, you're going to give him 2 to 1. You built yourself up the pot. You might bet 150.
Yeah.
If you want to kind of, maybe 200. It's going to bet 150
That's a
here.
nice bet, nice value bet.
If you're Kelsey here, I mean, this guy has bet the river.
Well, they called you on the flop. What did he call you with?
And remember, he's betting the river now on an ace as well.
Yeah, the ace hasn't scared him at all.
Yeah.
Obviously, the hearts don't look like they've scared him. What has he missed? I mean, if he's betting something that he's missed, I don't think he'd bet King Queen here, would he? Wouldn't bet Queen Jack here. And you think of some draw that he might have had that he missed. 7-5. Then you start manufacturing hands you can beat. There's really not much you can beat here with Queen 7.
I got to tell you, too, with, against kind of a recreational player, and I think He-Man is a recreational player, it's so often that if a guy had top pair and a 3rd heart came on the turn, he would check behind because everyone's so scared of the check raise. I see it so much, Dave.
You're right.
I don't know if he some really good players might bet a King Queen with the King of Hearts there to check the river, but in this case, against normal competition, I think you're beat here. Obviously, it's easier for us to say with the Queen 7.
It's always easy, obviously, from where we're sitting.
Yeah.
But if you start thinking through the hand and you start thinking of the way He-Man's played it, and you start going, what can I beat King Queen? Does he bet King Queen? I just don't see him betting king-queen here.
Would he bet a hand like queen-jack or king-queen on the turn as well, and then bet the river?
He might bet it on the turn. He might bet king-queen or queen-jack, especially as the king of hearts or the jack of hearts. He might bet that, trying to get you off of something, or might just bet it for value, and then take the free showdown. But would he bet it on...
Kelsey has talked himself into calling here, but I don't think there's a whole lot he can beat, obviously, if he's going to lose.
It's tough sometimes when you have two pair, though.
I knew it.
He actually put him on a set. He said, do you have a set?
How about a flush? I mean, isn't that
a lot of things?
Isn't that a possibility?
There just wasn't much you could beat.
Am I big blind?
Yes.
All right.
And again, I sometimes think that, mark of a good player is, everyone always talked about Stewie Unger. He would always bet enough to either bluff the guy out when he didn't have a hand that he wanted to get called, or bet enough to get a value call. And it's so often that we see players with monster hands let people off the hook by either not building a pot up or betting so kind of pussy-esque on the river that they leave several $100s on the table from that hand.
Well,
right?
They used to say the magic of Stewie Unger was that he knew exactly what to bet.
For whatever he wanted the result of, right?
Exactly.
Going to take a look at the first chip count of the night here, Dave.
Only $7,000 on the table. Very small for a $500 game. Dr. Beebe's got the table covered at $2,300. Eric's got $1,200. Nobody else is $1,000. Kelsey down to $150. I'm sure he'll rebuy. Let's see how they're doing. He-Man up $300 now. Eric up $275. And Kelsey and Dr. Beebe are our losers so far. And we'll keep track of this throughout the night. Now, once again, this is a $500 game, but it's definitely playing more like a 3 to 5 game. But with the blinds being 5-10, you've got to realize that this inherently can almost play like more like a short stack game, where if you make it a $40 or $50 raise, somebody else re-raises you to 125. If you call that, you're putting in so much money out of your chip stack, such a large percentage, you're almost committing yourself.
Yep. And again, this is why, we are playing 500, 510 uncapped, but this is why I really don't like the other game at the casino, the other casino across the street, which is 510, 400 max.
Yeah.
And there's there's another casino south of here that spreads a 510, 500 max.
Yeah.
Really are restricted buying games, and you have to gamble up with your first buy-in. I don't really like gambling up $500 or $1,000 in front. You know?
I don't think this game you're only buying in for 50 times the big blind.
Yeah.
Now, we talk about no limit hold'em being a lot of post-flop play. But when you're short stacked like this, it's almost like there's no turn and river play, though.
Yeah.
Because if there's any betting or raising, it's all going in on the flop.
Yeah.
While the deeper you get, you start getting into post-flop play, then post-turn play, and then even river play.
Now, Gus is raised here to 45 with ace-10 offsuit. And Dudley is going to call. I'm going to tell you, this is a really tough hand for Dudley in this specific situation. Gus is raised from somewhat early position, but he's been shown that he can raise with anything. And Dudley has to hit his hand here to continue on. Now, that's a bad flop. I mean, he called $45, which is about 10% of Gus's stack. Dudley has missed, and it goes check, check. Gus did not bet on the king. And now Dudley's hit the queen.
Now, Gus has done this twice, and I just don't understand what Gus is doing. He raised pre-flop against Dr. Beebe, and it went check, check.
Right.
And now he's checked it again. And it went check, check on a turn. And I got to tell you, if I'm Dudley here, I bet it. I put a value bet in.
No, it went bet call on the turn.
Oh, it did?
Yeah,
he
bet,
called
and
with ace-10?
Gus called with ace-10.
With a gut shot.
And Gus checked behind him on the river.
I was just trying to get you to bet on the river. You see that? You see how good I am, dude? You don't even know me.
So nice hand there for Dudley.
It works so well. I could put money in there.
See that?
Button's going to move over here to Dudley. Again, you can email us at liveatthebike.com. You can also check out our website at www.liveatthebike, spelled out. A lot of useful information over there. You can take a look at our commentator bios. There's a link to my interview with the poker show Rounders, and we'll soon to have a link up to the circuit interview. You can also take a look at a section called As Seen on Live on the Bike. A lot of definition of terms. A lot of people ask what a straddle is. Some of the terms that, some of the viewers or you guys out there watching might not necessarily be familiar with. Dr. Beebe's got pocket jacks. He's going to limp in from seat 9. Kelsey also limps in with 9s, and Dudley is going to race. He's going to make it 30 with ace queen. I got to tell you, that is really, I'm not going to, we always talk about this, but that is really passive play there from Dr. Beebe on this table. He's in mid position. He limps in with jacks. Now, Dudley said he didn't look at his cards. If he really didn't look at his cards and he raised on the button, wouldn't you pull the limp re-raise here if you were Dr. Beebe? If you really think the guy didn't look at his cards? But he just calls. And Kelsey's got 9s over here. I don't know if necessarily the people at the table believe Dudley, but that's what Donna told me. If he raised blind on the button, and look at this. This is what. Oh, I thought Kelsey. I got to tell you, if Kelsey does it, I don't even think it's a bad play. The only thing that might stop you is that BB sometimes plays jacks or queens with this man.
Ego chips, dude. You're gonna get hurt.
It's 30 more here. And there it is. And I got to tell you, I don't really mind the play there by Kelsey. Again, I think that BB might call here. But the hand is played out so strangely with Dr. Beebe. You might be scared again that BB might call you with queens or jacks, but it's such a strange move. Dave, I know that you left the booth for a second. BB limped in with jacks in mid to late position.
Right.
Kelsey limped in.
Right.
And Dudley said, I raised blind. And I think everyone thought that he didn't look at his cards. And I was figuring, well, if you were Dr. Beebe and a guy is raised blind on the button, wouldn't you limp re-raise with jacks? Well, he didn't. He called. And now Kelsey has moved all in with 9s. And I got to tell you, I don't really mind the play by Kelsey.
No, I don't mind the play by Kelsey either. But if I'm Dr. Beebe, I probably raise this because you're going to tell me that Kelsey limped in a cutoff seat with 9s?
No, Kelsey's already pushed in. He's already pushed
originally, he first limped, though, right?
Right.
So he didn't know Dudley was going to raise, did he?
Right. No, he didn't.
So,
although maybe Dudley's been doing this the whole time. Now, Dudley actually has somewhat of a hand, and he's going to call. And now for BB here, he's got the best hand, and he gets away from it easily there.
Yeah, but now you got to muck this, though.
If you limped in with jacks and a guy raised blind on the button, wouldn't you limp re-raise there 100% of the time?
Usually, you got to be careful of that raised blind thing, okay?
Well, Kelsey's ahead here with 9s. Dudley needs an ace or a queen. And BB would have made 3 jacks there.
Yeah, he would have won this, obviously, with just his pair of jacks is fine, but 3
See if
jacks.
we can get a shot at Dr. BB over there in seat 9.
Big hand for Kelsey.
Like he's drinking some
He
Chardonnay.
doesn't care. He's like, whatever, and I'll find another spot to put my money in there.
Yeah, I know.
Now, a little buyer beware, okay? If you're playing with a guy and he says, I raise blinds, make sure he actually is raising blinds. Because I've seen too many times somebody go, raise blind, wow, well, I didn't know I had aces.
Well, again, I thought it was a little bit, I heard it from Donna that he said he had raised blind. I thought it was a little bit unlikely that he woke up with a hand like ace-queen. And like you said, you got to really know if you raise blind or not. But, you might be looking at a guy the whole time and he hasn't looked at his cards.
In that case, totally different. You actually been at the table with me where we did that, and I called the guy down all in with king to high.
Right.
King 9 one time I did that. But I was looking at him the whole time, making sure that he never looked at his cards. Just be careful.
And again, like I said, I don't mind the play there by Kelsey. The only thing you got to be thinking is Dr. BB in there with jacks or queens again? And he's just limp. But I might work it through my head that he probably would limp re-raise. The guy raised blind, and I put him maybe on ace-king or ace-queen, which I can get him off of. It was really a peculiar hand.
Yeah, BB's game is always kind of befuddled me, I got to say.
And again, we are not privy to really if he really raised blind on the button. Obviously, that changes things.
I'm not sure the player at the table knew if he was really raising blind or not.
5-way action here. It's limped around, and look at John in seat 6.
Flop straight for him.
And he checked it, and Bob is going to come out and fire. Now, Bob is limped in an early position with ace-6 of clubs. That's a hand I don't like to play from up front, and if I get this flop against 4 players, I don't even know if I bet that flop from up front.
You might put a little bit of money in there just one time. If you even get called once, you might throw it away. You got to realize the board is actually not that draw heavy, unless somebody had, say, Queen 9. Somebody had 8-9. I'm not sure if they'd be getting involved with the bottom end of the straight draw.
And this guy,
King Queen's already there.
This guy check raises him, and Bob folds. But again, to tell you, if John throws a little pot builder bet out from up front, I think that's really the way to play it against 4 or 5 people. I see guys call with King Jack, a hand as weak as Queen 10 there.
Yeah, check raising is I think check raising is a better tool used to limit the field. And when you've already got the nuts, you don't want to limit the field. You want to keep them all in.
Right.
Maybe somebody will catch something.
You want to bet maybe 3/4 of the pot there from up front.
Even if you bet half the pot, even if you put a little baby bet out there, you get 3 or 4 people to call. I mean, there's a lot of ways to play it, but check raising is probably not one of them.
If that board especially had a 2 suit there, and I flop something like bottom 2, or maybe even a hand as strong as top and bottom, that's a hand I might check raise to limit the field, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Please, Miami, don't lose right there. Man, you were happy you got me. They're going to win. Huh? They're going to win this. Yeah, I hope.
I was checking out, somebody started a little live at the bike thread over in the Omaha 8 or better section last night of 2+2, and there was some guy that called the commentators dips.
How about a set of 4?
Yeah, John has flopped a set of 4s. He's going to bet right into it now. It doesn't look like anybody has a queen, though. Now, Dudley has 5-6. He might call here. He's just got second pair with a shitty kicker, but he makes the call, and he's virtually drawing dead. Turn is a 10.
And now he is drawing dead.
And I assume John's going to bet here again, and he does.
Why your hands so shaking, dude? Why your hands shaking? Why your hands shaking? You need a cocktail.
He bets 60 here.
Yeah, his hand's shaking. Shaking hands is actually, some people would think it's a kind of a, oh, he's nervous, he's bluffing. It's actually usually a tell that the guy is really strong. A little post here from Barry Wood says, hey, wait, so playing solid is like playing like a girl? Come on, Tushman, play Friday with us, and we'll see who's wearing the thong. Now, in all honesty, I got to give some props to Barry Woods, because I actually really thought he played a good game on Friday. I thought he made a mistake.
I asked George when he came out of the booth, and George told me, he's like, Barry's playing a good game tonight, and he wasn't joking.
Yeah. I thought Barry Woods played solid. I thought he played really well on Friday night. I thought he played it a little bit too passive for him. And I thought he missed a couple of opportunities. And I thought the King 6 play, he dodged a bullet. He probably shouldn't have called a raise with that hand. And this is really just directed to Barry Woods and anybody else who doesn't like it. Tough shit.
Are you folding? Yes.
But as for me wearing a thong, I wish you would keep that private. I really would.
Now, here's an interesting hand here. Now, Eric has limped in from up front with 6-4 clubs. Remember, Dave, the stacks aren't that deep at this table. And I got to tell you, I probably would not make that limp from second spot there with 6-4 clubs. Now, he's going to get raised by a guy who is definitely only 500 deep. Well, he gets away from it. But those are almost kind of, I was really examining my game over the last month because I was running a little bit bad. And those are, I kind of call them chip bleeder hands. If you're not really deep and the rest of the table is not really deep, I think it's an overall negative.
I got to tell you, even if you are deep, I think playing suited connectors from up front is a negative EV play.
Yeah.
I mean, I even think if you're 20,000 deep and somebody else is 20,000 deep, I think playing that hand is negative EV because I think it puts you in positions and situations that are difficult to maneuver from out of position.
That's what I'm going to make you guys look in a minute.
Well, we got to catch up to you somehow.
I mean, I think if you and I were to kind of get rid of some of the leaks in our game, I think one of them would be not to play those kind of hands out of position.
You know what? I'm going to call this stupid hand.
And Dudley's going to call this stupid hand, he says, and it's 10 deuce. Hey, it worked for Doyle Brunson, man. It could work for you.
I got to tell you, I played a longer session this afternoon, and it kind of helped me be more patient, Dave. More of a 5-hour session this afternoon.
Instead of like a 2.5-hour session or a 3-hour session, you kind of felt like you had the time to play and you had to push it. It definitely does make a difference.
Four-way action here.
Well, look at that. He said he's going to play this stupid hand,
but
and
look
this
at this.
stupid hand has gotten him a lot of trouble.
Yeah, because Gus has got him out-kicked.
Yeah.
And Gus is going to bet this from the button, I am sure. Look at this. John is going to bet on the 6.
Well, and I don't mind the bet at all. And is Gus just going to call?
It's not really that connected of a board. If you've got a 10 and you think your kicker is good, I like to play trips fast here. But this might be a case where you might call here if you had something like ace 10, king 10, or queen 10, because you actually want a guy to check raise from up front, and I think you think
And
you have the
Dudley
best
called
hand.
here.
Wow.
And I got to tell you, once he gets a call by Dudley, you've got to go, okay, I got the best hand here.
Yeah.
He's got a 10 also, and I'm going to get him.
Somebody has a 10 here, and I like queen 10 right now.
And if Gus doesn't bet this, I'm going to go out there and hit him. Okay.
No, he's going to bet. He
bet
bets 100, and Dudley's just going to call. Maybe Dudley's in check call mode here.
No.
You don't think so?
No.
Well, he's just check call. You think he's going to push on the river? He's from
He
up
might
front.
check raise all in the river.
Oh, now they're going to chop it up.
Check again. We chop, guys. Nice hand, bud. Nice hand.
I got to tell you, if I was Gus there, I might move all in on the river.
Nice hand.
Yeah, it's tough to put him on a king, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, he called the flop of what? King 6?
Yeah.
Stupid I am, you know.
I mean, a lot of people might say, well, there isn't a whole lot of value in doing that. It's actually tough to put anybody on a king, really, because there was no two flush on the flop, so no one's really in there with a flush draw with a king. Maybe the guy has king 6. Maybe he got called with king 6 suited.
Right.
I don't know.
I mean, we do talk about sometimes players overvaluing trips. And in that case there, if you have 10 deuce and you get a bet from seat 6 and a smooth call in seat 7 and you have 10 deuce, I gotta tell you, my 10 deuce is probably hitting them up.
There's 22 seconds left.
Because there's nothing I can beat.
Not to say anything for 22 seconds. I would have called you in the flat.
No, you would have never called. because
Button
you
moves
don't-
over here to seat 8.
You put me on a 10, be honest.
But guess what?
And if that turn card was a queen and Gus had bet, and of course the river pairs, actually it wouldn't have mattered.
Well, but paired the 6.
Right, but if it paired the king, it wouldn't have mattered. But if it paired a lower card, that is a hand you move all in.
Oh,
with
definitely.
if you think somebody has a 10.
No, it's not voodoo.
I mean, that is
Magician.
without a doubt a hand to move all in.
I think if the board doesn't pair there, if the king doesn't come, I think Gus does put a $200 or $300 bet in the river and probably does get called.
Yeah, he could levitate as well, dude.
Limped around here. Now, Eric has got ace-queen offsuit in the big blind. And he's going to raise it up here a little bit. He's going to make it 40 more, Dave.
A little bit. Off the ground. You don't believe in that? Let me tell you something, pal. I was a martial arts expert.
John mucks queen-jack. And Gus is out of there as well. Eric takes it down.
I practiced that.
So apparently Barry Woods is coming on Friday to play. Is he playing tomorrow?
I don't know. 20-40 no limit,
Tomorrow's
most likely.
20 exactly.
Yeah.
$2,000 minimum buy-in, no maximum.
No, I'm telling you. I was a British champion in martial arts.
Button moves over here to seat 9.
I could only levitate one part of my body.
Dr. Beebe has the button here.
You can do that a little bit. Not flying, but you can do a little bit.
I know Shirley Rosario used to actually help Barry Woods out with this game. I wonder if she still is. I don't know. I'll have to ask her or him.
No, it's not high school.
John's got an ace-10 suited from up front here in third position.
My money over there.
He's going to throw a little raise in here, Dave.
55 or 45.
He's going to make it 45 to go. Now, Dr. Beebe mucks pocket sixes. Can't really quite tell how much John has in front of him over there in
Yeah,
seat
I don't
6.
think John's got enough. Obviously, Beebe's got plenty. Yeah, John only has 500.
Yeah. Now, Dudley calls with pocket 8s. He's ahead here.
I did it on purpose.
Here we go to the flop. Jack 5-4. Well, see how Dudley's going to play 8s here. This is, again, one of the toughest spots in No Limit Hold'em, I think.
I know.
He checks. John makes the continuation bet. I think I throw a bet out there against John with the 8s there on the flop.
Yeah, probably. You want to see where you're at.
Yeah.
You certainly don't want to be in check call mode. Good chance, obviously, that flop did not hit John.
You know, if he's the type of player that can raise me with just ace-king, so be it, I'll fold. But,
Right.
you know, I mean, you were definitely checking and you're inducing a bluff, and he's going to check call.
The only thing is some of those passive players, just call with queens.
Turns a 4. Dudley checks blind, it looks like. And John taking a check behind. If this board pairs, it does not. The river's a 9. I was going to say, if that board pairs, just check down. If that board pairs a 5 or a jack, I think it's a must value bet for Dudley from up front.
Oh, definitely.
Get called by an ace.
And you can see the problem with Dudley's game here. The last 2 hands that he's won, one was with pocket eights, one was with ace queen. Both hands were played out of position. And both hands, he really didn't make much money because he was just content in just checking it and just taking it down. While you imagine if he was behind, his opponents are going to charge him a lot more. He's going to end up losing more money on the hands he loses than win on the hands he wins. Obviously not a winning strategy in poker.
Again, you can email us at live@thebike.com. Questions, comments, suggestions.
Yeah.
Sounds like, it looks like Kelsey over there is really shooting the Patron up in C2. And I'm getting a word from Ray that he is sloshed.
Really?
Yeah.
How much did he buy? Is this just an image thing? Or is he really drunk? Really?
Look at him.
Maybe we can do an interview.
I'm not going to give you any chips because you never call.
What do you mean? Don't cut him off.
Little raise here by Eric with pocket 4s.
All right, I got to call you just this once. I'm not going to call you after this.
Dudley is called here with an ace-3 suited, another hand that you cannot really play hard out of position.
No.
We're heads up here.
I mean, there's a reason why good players don't play that many hands out of position.
I think Eric needs to bet here, and he does. He's going to bet 30.
You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to call my buddy.
And Dudley's going to call here, Dave, with ace high.
Do it!
He calls with ace-3. Now, the turn here is an 8. If you were going to call here and you didn't pick anything up and it goes check, check, I think he needs to fire on the river. And it does go check, check. He needs to bet the river here.
And if he does, he probably takes it down.
And he checks it. And you wonder if Eric thinks he needs to bet to win here. And he is. He's going to bet.
Well, he probably thinks that he probably put Dudley on, say, a jack or maybe even a 6. And Dudley throws it away and Eric takes it down with 4s.
King Jack.
Wow.
That beats me, though, still. You think about a pair I would
Button moves over here to seat 2. Kelsey.
A-side. Don't say. You think I would not? I knew he had at least. You think me? No, he Dudley Alexander.
Again, you can watch this show and every show we've ever done by signing up for the archives.
Yeah.
Click on the on-demand banner. $14.95 gets you access to everything. Barry Greenstein, Doyle Bruns. It's almost been a year and a half now.
Don't you have to, like, pay per month, though? I mean, like, pay, like, you get 1 month?
It's $14.95 per month. It gets you access to everything.
Everything?
Everything.
All our shows?
Yes, all our shows. Not just month to month.
I don't know if I could have raised this.
I thought maybe, like, you pay and you just get May.
No.
Wow. That's a deal.
Look at this. Kelsey, he's limped in with 6 deuce of diamonds here on the button, and Dudley's going to raise. Sometimes when I do those double fist Fridays, Dave, when I'm double fisting the beers, I tend, as I drink more, to play tighter.
Really?
It's funny. Yeah, it's funny.
Funny, it's not what I've heard.
From who?
A couple of people told me. They go, they like when you drink. Loosens you up a little bit.
From George, you mean? That was that one night with those Patron shots. And I didn't really do anything necessarily wrong. I was just got into a tough spot.
Hey, you see how fake I'm not breathing? I went like this.
I think the pair game's got to come and play.
Dudley's an antique dealer.
Yep.
Oh my God, I love that one. You see that one? We gotta go nuclear. Get there.
I gotta throw something out here, unshow related. For my personal, I'm gonna use this show as my personal communication tool to several thousands of people out there. Anybody play paddle tennis or platform tennis? You can email me at live@thebike.com.
Like table tennis?
No, paddle tennis. It's played in Venice Beach.
Paddle tennis?
Yeah, it's a small tennis court.
With a
I
small
really
little
want to
ball?
get into the game. I'm looking for a paddle tennis partner, actually, if anyone lives in the LA area. $30 raise here at pocket 5 and seat 8.
Bart,
Seat 9's going to call with
Bart,
King Jack
I mean-
clubs.
don't you understand what we're trying to... We're trying to put a facade out there that we're actually cool. Okay? You talk about Star Trek a couple weeks ago. Now you're talking about paddle tennis.
Good workout, man. It is the most. I think it's really the most enjoyable racket sport out there, and I've played them all: squash, racquetball, tennis.
You know they just played this on the internet.
You know what? I call you blind. You better make
And Dudley says he's calling blind here at the Rays and CA with pocket fives.
Put your $100 on your butt.
I think Ray wants to play with you.
Okay.
Get yourself a paddle tennis partner.
Hey, listen.
I'll play.
You don't hit.
Four-way
How much
action
could it
here.
Smack a ball around.
You better hit an ace or a 10.
Ace, 9, 10. Remember, Bob brought this one in with pocket fives.
You don't bet, you in trouble. Big.
I'm in trouble.
You check.
And it's going to get checked around here.
You're gonna do what?
That's something he's thinking about.
See, he doesn't talk to me as much.
I know. Because
He can't.
I know. I'm worried about him.
The action, I believe, is on Eric here. Eric's got 7, 9 of clubs. And Eric is going to come out and bet on bottom pair here, one off the button.
I'm at 45, 50.
70. You know, I was telling Eric, Dave, I saw him, he was sitting next to me earlier today,
That's good.
right around 5 o'clock. And he actually misplayed a hand. And he paid Dr. Beebe off on the river, and I'll explain it to you in a second. I can't imagine anyone's going to call here.
But this is a flush over flush situation.
Yeah, you know, Mo had raised it, the host of the game, Mo, with ace-king. 4 callers, and the pot was like $250. Now, and Eric had 6, 8 of clubs, and the flop came king 7, 9 with 2 clubs. Eric checked, Mo bet, and BB called in between, and Eric just called. Eric made the flush on the turn. He bet, BB put them all in, and he called. And sometimes when you get a caller in there, you've got to know that someone might be on a higher flush draw than you, and it's with a straight draw on a flush on a big draw like that, you've got a lot of equity, especially against a player like Dr. Beebe, who might fold a nut flush draw. It's either a check raise or fold situation, right?
Yeah, it definitely is. I mean, I might fold that. I was telling you before the show. You really got to be careful. If you have a flush draw and it's not the nuts, and there's more than one player in there, you've got to start thinking, okay, well, maybe this guy's got top pair. Maybe this guy's got a straight draw. Well, what does this guy have? Does he have a flush draw also?
I mean, BB just smooth calling there. I mean, he either put him on ace-king. Remember, he called the raise. He's not the type of player that's going to call a raise with even king-queen, you know. We get a raise here by Dudley with 9-5 of diamonds.
Or the
John
nut
is gonna
flush draw.
Exactly. Well, ace 4-5 here. Remember, Dudley, the pre-flop raiser with 9-5. Check, check here. He does not bet on the 5. Turn is an ace. His kicker is playing here. It gets checked to him, and now he bets. He bets 40, and John is going to check call here with a 5, Dave. And he is out-kicked. And this one might go check, check on the river. It's about a 50% chance that Dudley Hand's going to play. Well, they're going to chop it up now.
5 beats you?
They're going to chop it up now. Both players play 5s and aces with the king kicker.
Oh, you nice.
Now, I got this email earlier, right before the show started. It was from Michael. Now, Michael started an email out last night with hola. Actually, it was hola, I guess. And I read it on the air as sounding like a Mexican. And I said, hola. And he said, I lost all my street cred. I'm sorry, man. I don't think I have much street cred. I got to be honest. Email here from Maurice. Yeah, Ray's working on it, though. He really is. He's trying. Email here from Maurice. Says, love the show. Learned a lot from watching you guys almost every night. He has a PhD in math and understands all about pot odds and all that stuff. But now he's running bad. And he said, I'm finding that a lot of these donkeys are playing in the game, which normally I'd welcome, but I'm finding that the people are chasing a lot, and they're catching.
Guy who never calls a hand. Oh, yeah. You know what?
That comes with it, man. That's part of it. Now, some people will start berating these donkeys. I recommend not. I recommend kind of going, hey, man, that's a good play. Well done. You want those guys chasing, okay? Now, remember, the more players that are chasing, well, that's the fewer amount of pots that you have to win. You don't have to win that many pots now to make a lot of money. Because obviously the pots are bigger. Dudley's got top pair here. Heads up between Gus and Dudley. He checks blind. Turns a 9. Now Gus is open-ended. And Gus is going to bet it. Well, now Dudley's got to look.
How much is it?
35.
I'm just going to call him because I don't even...
And Dudley's just going to call.
He just... Ego. Ego makes you bet. So silly. Ego makes you bet.
Ego makes you bet.
You got too much ego, dude.
Ego makes you bet.
What are you going to do now?
3 on the river. And Dudley is good here.
I'm gonna let you bet. Bet a lot.
No, only $20. How are we? Turn around. Yeah. It's so easy. I can beat you any day of the week. I can beat you with my little thumb, dude.
I have no parry. You're gonna beat me.
My digit finger can beat you.
There you go.
It's such easy.
That was classic. I can beat you with my little thumb, and he shows his pinky.
It's so easy. I don't even know what.
Anyway,
You know what?
back to Marisa. He goes, however, lately I'm being a little more patient. I've stopped trying to bluff these bad players. But hey, I'm still getting paid off when I have a monster. Thanks for the advice. Hey, well, we appreciate the email. Good luck. Planning out a trip to LA. Well, let us know when you're coming out, Maurice. Button moves over to seat number 6. Small blinds $5, big blinds $10. Dr. BB is under the gun, and he's already mucked. Action's over to Eric.
You bet $5 he mucks.
King Jack suited for Gus.
Who's that? Oh, and I need a couple of those guys.
Now, Dudley's going to limp in here with a 9-10 offsuit.
That's blindfold. That's
Seat open.
JR, he is super tight. We haven't seen him play hand almost all night. And he's going to put in a little mini raise here with Jack 10. He makes it $20 to go. Not quite sure what the value of that raises, except that, hey, it did buy himself the button. Now his position for all the rounds.
Well, JR really plays it tight, Dave. I mean, he doesn't play many hands.
But he makes it $20 to go now.
Well, that's a min raise. I never really quite understand that.
No, I don't either.
He's dominated here. 6-6-7 on the flop with a couple of hearts.
Misses everybody, and if JR continues here, he probably should be able to take it down.
Gets checked over to him.
And he's going to bet $40 into about a $60 pot. And you imagine that'll get it done. Gus folds. And Dudley calls.
Well, he's got a gut shot with overcards. And he hits it. Turn is an 8. He's got the straight now. He's got the nut straight.
Now, Dudley's the type of guy, if he's ever showing strength like that, you can see some of these players like that. Dudley is check call, check call, check call. Well, now he's betting. What's he betting with? I mean,
Five more. What are you going to do, JR?
He's going to bet 80 here. I mean, JR has really, he's got nothing. I mean, he's got overcards, and now he picks up a gut shot.
no, it's an easy
To the
laydown,
nut
obviously.
straight.
I'm going to bluff you right here. No.
Yeah, word is that Dudley's been drinking the White Russians, the dude's drink, and word is also that he's getting drunk off of it. And, man, well, you got to be kind of a lightweight to get drunk off of White Russians, especially the way they make them here with half and half, Dave. Because, I mean, it's almost like your body rejects the cream before you can get enough alcohol in you, right? I mean, it's only Kahlua, which is a liqueur, and vodka. Yeah, a little bit of vodka, half, you know.
You drink them. The thing is, those White Russians, now obviously I'm a little bit more of a lightweight than you, but I can get drunk on them. They're kind of like little milkshakes, though. So you can drink them so quick.
But, I mean, you only can drink so much cream.
Yeah,
I mean,
no,
you're putting in 50 grams of fat at a time.
No, I know.
You know?
I know. I'll tell you, though, when I'm in Vegas, sometimes if I'm in a White Russian mood, I can drink like 9 or 10 of those things.
Anybody from the East Coast who knows Dunkin' Donuts, obviously you do. Do you know coffee culottes? Of course. If they make it with cream, a big one, it's got like 70 grams of fat in it. It's 10 ounces of half and half cream.
Hey, the more fat, the better. Pour it on.
It is crazy. We don't have Dunkin' Donuts out here. Starbucks lands out here on the West Coast. Are they in L.A.?
Actually, Burbank's got them.
Oh, Burbank has a Dunkin' Donuts?
Burbank's got like Land of Baskin and Robbins and Dunkin' Donuts for some reason. No Ben and Jerry's.
How about Friendly's? Do you know Friendly's on the East Coast?
Oh, I love Friendly's. Classic.
Started in Western Massachusetts. Limped around here, 4-way action. 8-5-3 with a couple of diamonds. Gus has got top pair over there. He's on the button with 7-8.
He gets checked to him, I'm sure I'll bet.
Take 2 back.
Thank you. It's on you now.
All right, it's on me, I check.
Check.
It's a $50 pot, and he's going to bet 55.
And that'll get it done.
You know, Ray just said in my ear, how about Krispy Kreme? Do they have those on the East Coast?
They do
And
now.
They never did, but yeah, they did now. I remember when they started it a couple years back, like there was one in Connecticut, and people from Massachusetts drove like 2 hours to line up.
Yeah.
What's the big deal?
You know what, when I first saw Krispy Kremes out here, I actually drove like 45 minutes to go get one.
Yeah.
And I waited in line, and it was kind of cool. I was like, okay, that's cool. Now they're everywhere there. Now you can get them like in your gas station.
Yeah.
I'm over it.
Look at this picture. Yeah, Vince Van Patten plays paddle tennis. That's awesome. Maybe I can play with him.
Doesn't that tell you everything you need to know?
Look at how he's dressed in.
Look at the picture. Are you kidding me?
It's a good game, man.
Hey, can somebody do me a favor and put Bart's head on Vince Van Patten's body there? That'd be
I'm
class.
sure someone's going to do that. You know, the great thing about L.A., what they do out here is the homemade donut shops they have out here are better than any other chain donuts. Way better than Dunkin' Donuts and Krispy Kremes. The mom-and-pop donut stores.
You like those, huh?
Oh, yeah. Kidding me?
Get a raise here from Bob.
Pocket
He's got
tens
10s.
on the button.
Again and again and
Now,
again.
JR's got 8s.
If I'm in and you're in, I'm going over the stop. David.
David,
Starts with a D.
don't get the same as, what's his name again, over 6'7"? Gus. Don't get like Gus, dude.
And JR is going to call this with the 8s.
Like Gus. You're gonna like a tin man. You're gonna have to oil it pretty soon.
Two players.
And we're heads up.
Oil his hand.
So JR has pocket 8s here, Dave.
Pocket 8s.
King 5-5 here.
Ronnie doesn't believe me, but he's got 8s.
Yeah. So Bob is in the lead here, and he's got a continuation bet here on a king high board to $100.
And I think I mean, you put yourself in a spot where if you're not going to bet out there, you don't want to be checking and calling with 8s. So it's an easy lay down here, I think.
Wait, Ronnie's getting good at those cards over there, man. That was like boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how JR is going to continue on here.
I mean, what do you can't beat, obviously, you can't beat Ace King now. You can't beat King Queen now. You can't beat an overpair. I mean, I'd much rather bet out with my 8s and see if I put some pressure on some guy who has Ace Queen or Ace
Yeah.
Jack.
There it is. Email here by John Wu saying, hey guys, I love watching your show. I like the commentary and the digressions. Oh, I'm glad somebody does. And I'd like to ask you the following questions about Omaha High-Low. Do you know of any brick-and-mortar casinos that have pot limit Omaha High-Low around L.A.? And Bart, do you prefer playing pot limit or just regular limit Omaha High-Low? I prefer limit. I don't have a lot of experience with pot limit Omaha High-Low. And I don't think they really spread pot limit Omaha High-Low anywhere except for like Europe.
Now,
And
we had it
sometimes
going
around.
here for a little while.
Dudley, where do you buy it?
While when the two Texas boys were here,
Yeah, that
Mo would play
half
regular.
high, half high-low.
Right.
Yeah.
Any commerce casino. Exco's?
He knows me as
5-5 pot limit high-low.
Any commerce casino.
Oh, okay. Got a word that another casino in L.A.
Yes, it's true. It's true.
in Inglewood spreads 5-5 pot limit high-low.
They have horses there or
Yeah,
something,
yeah,
right?
I've never seen that game. though.
Manure.
It's a commerce, you leave me?
Limped around here, Dave.
But I'll spank you here.
You haven't stopped me in nothing.
David, I'm checking.
Another email here from Carl. Says, hey, Bart, paddle tennis rules.
And
We have
this-
2 courts in my hometown.
Yeah.
Nothing like paddle tennis in the dead of winter. The snow melting, a few beers.
That probably confuses you, but I'll explain it to you in a second, the last comment.
I'm surprised they have it in L.A. because it really is a winter-based game.
Right. Dudley is going to lead out here with ace deuce. And I'm sure that might confuse you a little bit.
I'm easily confused.
Yeah. Pickleball. Yeah, pickleball is a similar game. We played that in high school. So Dudley leads out here with ace deuce, and Bob here, he's got a queen, and he makes the call.
I know. Oh, am I the only idiot that like grew up playing like baseball and kickball and that was it?
I got an ace, yes!
River's a 10, and it's going to go check here. Do you ever I mean, if it gets checked around on the flop, and then you bet the turn, well, I guess it is a third heart there on the river. I was going to say, do you ever value that an ace there from up front? Do you?
I'm sorry. I'm so amused by him. I'm so amused by this guy. He's having such a good time.
Do you ever value that an ace there? I mean, it is a third
Yeah, no,
heart.
hey, if I think I had the best hand,
Yeah.
and I think I might get called by a worse hand, yes, I value that.
Let's take a look at another chip count here.
Yeah, 70, almost 8,000 on the table
Still
now.
kind of smallish game for this
Definitely.
game. Let's take a look at the differences.
You don't even know me.
Yep, Eric's up 450 already. Bob up 300.
Dr. Beebe's the big loser.
Yeah, and the problem is in this game, it might take him 8 hours to make that back.
Yeah.
Dudley down 300, but you could never tell it by the way he's acting.
Now, Eric is going to raise it up here, it looks like, with ace-4 clubs, several limpers. He's going to make it 50 to go. And Dudley's playing any 2. He's not going to play 7-9 here. Now, John's got pocket fives. Out of position, Dave. If I have 500, I don't call here because it's against Eric. I'm out of position. If I hit my set, I need to make 10 times. Look, Eric's not really raising with a premium hand. Now, John's going to lead out here with 5.
Well, that's a way to play it, too.
9-7 deuce on the flop.
If you're just playing it for a set, obviously you shouldn't be playing it. But if you're going to play it that way, hey.
Yep.
Kind of a little stop and go there.
So anyways, getting this email by Carl Siglin, he says, I'm surprised they have in LA because it really is a winter-based game, and the proper name for that game is platform tennis. And it's played in cold weather areas because it's a raised platform that you play it on, and there's a roof. It's like kind of in a glass box, and the ground is heated. So the snow melts off the court. But in LA, it's just open. You know, it's not really platform. It's the same game, but it's not platform tennis to give you a heads up there. But it's very similar game to pickleball. That's the game I really play, but I don't think there's much of a difference between paddle tennis and pickleball.
Pocket jacks for Kelsey.
So, Ray, we could definitely make that conversion. I think it might even use the same equipment.
Do you have a paddle tennis racket?
I don't, but you can buy them around the stores around Venice Beach. Yeah. Kelsey here, he just limps in with jacks on the button here, Dave. Wow.
That's a Patron play.
Yeah, Patron play. 4-way action here. Well, he's got an overpair, but remember, it is an unraised pot. He does have the best hand here.
Yeah, obviously no way to know what the blinds have. The blinds could easily have 2 pair.
Yeah.
I call. How much is it? 40. 40 bucks? I call.
And Dudley bet 40 or Kelsey bet 40?
Kelsey bet 40, yeah. Dudley called.
Turns an 8.
And you can notice the way Dudley plays here. He pretty much is checking and calling with anything remotely
and it goes check, check. And the river here is a 6, and now a club's got there, and anyone who has a 7 has a straight. Kelsey's got a bluff catcher.
Dudley doesn't really bluff, though. We've seen this already.
Why do you have to put the clubs on it? Look in the river, man. Check to you.
This might go check, check here.
I was talking about it last week. You really can't judge a book by its cover in the sense you look at a player like Dudley and you might say, oh, this guy's probably kind of a gambler. He's mixing it around. Not really. Dudley's a pretty straightforward player.
I'm really surprised Kelsey's betting here. I mean, he's not betting enough to get somebody with a 7 out of the hand. I don't know,
but can he get called by a 9? The way Dudley's played this hand, has Dudley played it like he has a 7?
Yeah, I don't know, but what about 2 pair, though?
7's really remote. I mean, he called the flop. Why would he have a 7 in his hand?
How about 2 pair, though?
Really?
Okay.
9-7?
I mean, it's a crying call from 2 pair. So if Kelsey makes the bet here, I don't know how he could ever get called by a hand that he beats.
Well, he shouldn't.
Yeah.
But he might anyway.
I don't think he's going to get called here, dude.
No, he throws it away. He puts Kelsey on the flush and throws it away.
Yeah, 7 times. No, but even if he had a flush draw, you got him anyway.
And we're already done with the first hour of the show.
Wow, flew by.
Butt moves over here to seat 3, Dudley. I wonder where Dudley's from. He's got that Caribbean twang, right? Doesn't he?
Yeah, I wonder.
Yeah.
I was actually just talking to my wife about going to Jamaica again. Gotta tell you, man, I love Jamaica.
Well, pocket jacks here for seat 6. He limps into the gun, and BB's got 10s. Now, a
Well,
more
he's not
aggressive
gonna raise.
player would probably raise there. He limps.
I mean, you never guess this. You got a limp from limp from jacks, and then a limp from 10s, and you're gonna see this pot like 6 ways.
What do you think I have?
It's one of the times often if I'm in the button or if I'm in late position and Dr. BB is limped in, oftentimes I will just take the flop for cheap.
This might be interesting. I want to see if all undercards to 10s comes out, and if John leads what BB does with 10s, if it's all rags. Well, King comes out here. You know what I mean?
We've seen BB throw away queens like that, though.
King deuce 3 here, a couple clubs. Eric's got top pair. And he's going to come out and bet.
I mean, you look at that. John and BB didn't even take a shot at it. They just go, okay, forget it. Check and
Well, I mean, I don't know if John is that out of line. I limp him with jacks. I know you do sometimes from up
No,
front.
I understand it, but it just shows. I mean, BB would never even think of taking a shot at it, right?
South Central.
I don't know. My shows keep making the.
Button moves over to seat number 4.
Yours not. Right? Well, there's mine keep making.
I live in an apartment in South Central, so what?
I don't care where you live. Who cares?
Yellow chips are $5 chips. Purples are $25 chips. Whites are hundreds. I think the only person with
Got a
white chips on
Bellagio
the
chip
table.
there.
Does he?
Yeah.
Yes.
Got a $1 Bellagio chip there.
And sea furniture? Yes. And modern.
The only person with white chips there, I think, is BB on the table.
Yeah, they are.
$100 chips.
Baker. Anything. Huh? Modern contemporary. Modern is.
Not a whole. Oh, Ace is here for Eric in seat number 1.
What do you got?
I said no, modern but not contemporary.
And he's going to raise it up. He makes it 35 to go.
And contemporary.
Now, JR has played it tight. Is he going to call with Queen Jack offsuit from the small blind? He-Man's got a little suited connector there on the button. He does not play. You know, it's funny. I might play that hand against Eric because I think I might be able to get him off of a hand, not necessarily for the value of the hand.
You ever seen the Corona auction?
But he does not get involved.
South side of the night.
Is that where you the bottle collection like this?
Yeah.
Button moves over here to seat 1. Eric.
What collection?
Or excuse me, JR in seat 5.
I don't have a card. What do you have? Once weekly? Yeah. Weekly. I don't have one.
So did you see the Da Vinci Code over the weekend, Dave?
I didn't see it. I wanted to. I was going to see that. I wanted to see. I wanted to see Over the Hedge.
That little animated movie, right?
And I still want to see Mission Impossible 3, and I haven't seen any of them.
Yeah.
This week, I think I'm going to see one before the kind of a midday show.
I actually saw Poseidon over the weekend. That girl in that, she was in Day After Tomorrow. Damn, she's cute.
Okay,
Little
now I'm
brunette girl.
interested. 2+2 post. Ramstone says boot hockey is where it's at. What is boot hockey? Anything with hockey, man, I love. What's boot hockey? No, I've played all types of hockey.
I don't care. Can I swear?
8-3-3 here. It was limped around.
Well, trip threes for John in seat number 6.
See if John's going to lead out from up front.
Woods, you lucky you're not here today. I'd have bust you out.
I get it. Barrett is Dudley flipping Barry Woods off now. I got to tell you.
Does he know Barry Woods is not in the game?
Don't beat it out.
Jared was cool.
You know, sometimes I put this out to Donna. It might be entertaining for the guys at the table, but we got to do something to move this game along because it is moving along at a snail's pace. I mean, let's get going here.
Well, we can always turn the table mic up, and do that. Remember we used to that old 30 minutes of table talk.
Well, Eric is bet here with Jack 8, and John has made just the check call here with 6-3. Now, is John playing this conservatively here? Check, and the river is an 8, and Eric gets there.
And if I'm Eric, I'm betting.
Absolutely, he's got top full house.
I'm betting.
And I don't know if John's going to call here.
I don't think you can call. And this is the power. You'd also bet if you have a 3 here,
Yeah.
and you put pressure on somebody else with a 3. And at this point, you've got to realize if you're John, do you want to put money in? He throws it away. It's a nice laydown by John. Do you want to put money in just to chop?
Right.
You've got to realize now the pot is only $40. The guy bets 100 into it. Well, now you're calling 100 to win 20.
Button moves over here to seat 6.
You gotta sit down, man. You gotta play poker.
And Kelsey, I don't know, did he get cut off?
No, did he really? Oh, that's terrible. We've seen drunker people there. There's one lady that plays in the small game. She plays in the $200 game.
Yeah.
And she's really just a raving alcoholic.
She's
Every
here
time she's
sometimes?
here. She's here like 3 or 4 days a week. And she's always
You'll
here
have,
at night.
you'll have to point her out to me.
Oh, my. You've seen her. She's always drunk and always has 2 bottles of, like, whatever in her hands.
Is she belligerent?
Yes.
Okay.
After a while.
I don't mind people that drink a lot, like as long as they're not belligerent. It doesn't hurt anybody. Ace 9-3 here with a couple hearts. Gus is in there with deuce 6 of hearts from up front. Now this is definitely a dry flush draw. It's a limped pot. Because there's no raise, I might fire right out from first position with an ace out there on board. Probably take it down if no one has an ace.
Definitely. It's the power of the semi-bluff here.
Well, checked around. He's picked up the flush now on the turn.
Yeah,
And he checked it again.
There you go.
And everybody checks, and the river's a jack here.
And then a day off, and then session 3 starts, everybody together, and that's my turn.
He bets 25 here. I mean, do you honestly think, for Gus here, you're up against Eric in seat 1 and seat 8 Bob? Definitely probably 2 players that you wouldn't tag as aggressive. Would you really check the turn there with the flush?
Yeah, I got to be honest. I don't like the way Gus played that hand from the start. I mean, I think he needed to bet the flop, and I definitely think he needs to bet the turn.
And then day 3,
Button moves over to the aforementioned Gus.
David,
that's my birthday.
You're not gonna win.
Huh?
You are a chance. You don't have a chance.
Kelsey's leaning back. I'm just waiting for him to fall.
No prayer. And then, Gus, you forget about even thinking about anything.
Gus won't even get in the building.
He won't even get in the building.
I have 100% cash ratio in the World Series.
You have what?
Ace 5 suited here for JR in seat 5. He's one off the cutoff. See what he's going to do with it.
He's ever played as a World Series.
Dude,
Now, in a game like this, I would probably, in a more aggressive game, I might limp in with that. But in this game, I might raise it. I find myself a button now. It's Dr. BB and Bob in the blinds. Good chance they'll just throw it away.
You also have John is pretty tight next to you, and Gus probably has a lot of respect for your raises.
Yeah.
Hey, look at this. John here is going to raise.
Well, JR just limped in if John raised.
If JR had raised, John might not even call there with King Jack.
Exactly. And now you buy yourself the button. Bob and Dr. BB probably don't call, and you just win it straight out.
And he might not even call here. I mean, he's on the short stack.
Yeah. And he throws it away. Nice play by John. Those are the things you've got to be paying attention to. You want to focus on the game. Who is in the big blind? What is the value of raising there? And clearly in the cutoff seat there, I think a raise is in order.
Okay, you guys. Everybody just for 1 second. Seriously? All right. Gus. Robert, excuse me. Let's push it a little faster.
Yes.
Okay.
There we go. Let's have a big hand for Eric. God. Jesus. Ugh. Donna, you can tell Eric thank you. Yeah.
The blinds are going up, man, so hurry up.
Jeez. What a great guy, huh?
Yeah.
They do.
Well, that baseball mentality. You know, come on, let's go. We got 9 innings to get through here.
Yeah. Limped around here.
Let's play some poker.
I think Dudley's hurt.
Well, you can
Feelings
still
are hurt.
you can still joke around. You can still have a good time. You can still be screaming. You can all laugh.
Eric's flopped top and bottom here. He's going to bet 20 with 9-5.
And BB's gonna fold.
Whoa, wait a minute. BB calls. Wow.
BB called?
Well, the turn is a 4. BB checks. And Eric's going to bet again.
I guess BB was just taking one off.
I don't know. Thought maybe he was making a move or something. But
Yeah, it was strange.
I did go to poker camp. I did.
You need to go a couple more times.
Button moves over here to BB in seat 9.
I went, yeah.
Which tournaments now?
That's what happened.
So I gotta tell you, the action here at the Bicycle Casino this whole month is gonna be crazy.
Yeah.
We've got our Poker Classic, America's Poker Classic going on. Today's tournament was actually a no limit hold'em, 1 optional rebuy. It was only a $100 entry, obviously with the $200 $100 rebuy there. All the tournaments start at 4:15 p.m. and they run through June 4th. And for the next 2 weeks, the action here will be crazy, I swear. I love when those tournament players come down and play cash games.
Absolutely. 4-way action here, or 3-way action limped around. Queen, 10 on the flop. Oh, 4-way action. Well, Kelsey's got an open-ended straight draw here. He checked it. Turn is a 3. Now, the value of betting out with your trip queens all the time on that board is that if you bet out with King Jack, usually a guy with a 10 is going to fold. Dave, if I bet out there on that flop and you have 9-10, I don't think you're going to get involved with it, are you?
No, I'm not, because I got to look at it and go, yeah, you could have King Jack, you could have Jack 9, but you also could have a Queen.
And Eric bets and he steals it here with Jack 7.
And the only way I can find out what you have is by raising, and do I really want to commit that many chips to the hand as weak as 9-10?
Button moves over here to Eric in seat 1.
No, if I'm in position on you, I can play it a little bit differently. But if I'm out of position, I definitely just muck it. Once again, you can email us at live@thebike.com with any of your questions, comments, concerns, criticisms, whatever you want to say. Just email us and say hi.
You know, I still haven't gotten a chance to listen to that circuit interview with Gabe Thaler. I got to tell you, I haven't listened to it, but just kind of plug our buddy Scott Huff's show. We were on the show, of course, a couple months ago, but I think that's going to be definitely an interesting show.
No,
people that have, you went kind of to a couple anecdotes about Gabe Thaler last night.
Yeah.
Yeah. About how you used to just play to watch him play in cash games, right?
Okay, I love the guy. What do you want me to say, okay? I want to have his children. Is that what you want from me? Jesus.
Limped around here, and Eric is going to raise with 6s. And at this table, I probably would be raising with a lot of hands in position. I mean, it seems to be somewhat of a passive table.
I'd get up from this table.
You just don't think it's that good of a table.
I'd leave.
Yeah.
I would not play in this game. No, it's not a bad game, but nobody's got any money. And the players that have money aren't going to give it up anyway.
Yeah, those are the guys that aren't going to. I mean, you got Eric and Dr. Beebe with money.
I can find better games.
Right.
We always talk about game selection being at least half the game. You know, half of the battle is game selection. I would not play in this game.
Well, He-Man's picked up Ace-King here in the big blind. Oh, he's in the small blind, C4.
Now, if I was in a tournament and I was forced to play a game like this, yeah, I would play it pretty fast and pretty aggressive. And push it. I would be stealing, you know, John's blinds in seat number 6, Dr. Beebe's blinds seat number 9, Eric I'd be taking advantage of in seat number 1, and so forth and so on. And Kelsey, I just kind of push him over because he's drunk.
Like physically push him
Yeah,
over.
exactly, physically.
Yeah. I assume He-Man's going to raise just one limper here. It's Eric with King 9. And again, I think Eric is good enough here. There's just no way you can call a raise with King 9 with that guy's chip stack. I mean, you need real deep implied odds with King 9 anyways. It's really a garbage hand, and he gets rid of it. I might even go so far as to say, I mean, I like Gus's game, I like Kelsey's game, but I think that Eric's game, he's got a couple of leaks. He plays it a little bit passive. I think he can be moved off of hands. But I like his game. I think he's one of the best players at the table.
No, he is.
And I like to actually.
But he doesn't scare you, does he?
No, he doesn't scare me. But I actually like. He's interested. And a lot of people that come up to me and ask questions, you know, I try to do the best I can. But sometimes it can be a little bit overwhelming as we play and we do the show. But he's a guy I like to throw things off of and kind of, like I said, tell him, you know, I would have played your hand this way.
I mean, if you were going to, I like the guy too.
Yeah.
If you were going to rate him from, say, a -3 to a +3 being the biggest donkey you know, -3 being, you know, a complete shark, what would you rate him?
I think I might even put him on a -1 now.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
You don't think so?
No.
You might put him at even?
I'd say even, yeah. I mean, he's certainly not. I don't look at him and think he's a negative to the game.
Yeah.
He doesn't scare me. I don't go, well, I don't want to play in that game because Eric's in the game. And I don't mean disrespect him. I also wouldn't look at him and go, oh, well, I want to play in that game because Eric's in it.
Right. But, I mean, you might say the same thing about Dr. Beebe. You're not scared of him, but, you know, you're not going to win a lot of money against him either.
I love Dr. Beebe. He's a great guy, but I think Dr. Beebe's a +1.
Because of the fact that sometimes he's so passive.
I would play against Dr. Beebe every day of the week.
Yeah. Beebe's going to bet here with Ace-5. And Kelsey, he's got a gut shot wheel draw to the 4 with 2 spades out there, and I think he is drunk. He's going to make this call against Dr. Beebe, and he makes the call.
That's classic.
Turn is a jack. I assume that Beebe, his style, he's probably going to check. Well, let's see.
He might notice that Kelsey is drunk.
He's going to bet here again. He bet 75.
And Kelsey
Funny
throws
thing
it away.
is that, you know, Beebe says he hasn't ever seen the show. It's his kids that watch the show. You're staying with him, right? You're probably going to be staying with him a couple nights in Vegas at the Bellagio in the room. We're friends with the guy. He made me the same offer as well. I don't know if I'm going to.
No, he's a super nice guy. And once again, I mean, we're not going to come in the booth and pull back our punches.
Yeah.
We're going to say it how it is. I like the guy, but unless he were to adjust his game, he would have a lot of trouble beating you or I or anybody that really is a pretty good poker player. Because I would never give the guy any action. I mean, for me to lose a pot to him of any significance, I have to have a really big second best hand.
Yeah.
I mean, it's got to be set over set, something like that.
I mean, I think sometimes you can almost safely, like we talked about when Eric bet the river when I got into that hand, sometimes you might even throw away a second nut flush to his race on the river.
Yeah.
You know, it's just...
Because you got to look at it and go, what would he bet here?
Now, Eric here, he is actually, I think, adapting a little bit to the game. He's bringing a lot of hands in for raises that he might not in a more aggressive game. He raises there with Queen Jack from up front, takes it down.
Now, in defense of Dr. Beebe continues to play this style because it works for him. And one of the reasons why it works is, he doesn't get action from, say, players like Bart or myself or Mo or, players like that, Jonas. They'll never give Dr. Beebe action.
Right.
But he continues to get action from players that just aren't paying attention.
Right.
And that is the vast majority of people.
And he
out
says
there.
he's the long-term winner, and I believe it because it is the vast majority of people.
The
out
vast
there.
majority of
Yeah.
I guarantee you, if he picks up a big hand, and Dudley picks up a big hand, or seat 4 picks up a big hand, they will pay off Dr. Beebe. I guarantee it. And we'll be like, I can't believe they're paying him off.
Dudley here, he has raised with King Jack offsuit to 30. He-Man calls with pocket deuces. And we are heads up. Now, He-Man is in position here. Well, set of deuces here for He-Man.
Yeah, and unfortunately for He-Man, Dudley does not have an ace in his hand.
Dudley checks.
But we talk about this. Let's say Dr. Beebe had a set of deuces and Dudley had an ace.
Right.
But just ace-jack. I think he might lose an awful lot of money to Beebe.
He-Man is going to bet here. He bets 50.
And I like the bet, I really do. I don't think you can afford to let a free card come off. First of all, if your opponent has an ace, you want to give him a chance to check raise. Second of all, if your opponent has, say, Queen Jack, King Queen, or in this case, King Jack, any Broadway card comes out and you don't know where you're at, he could have a straight and beat you.
Button moves over here to Gus in seat 7.
Now, I mentioned that rating system, and I actually learned that from another professional poker player. And he was talking about how when he's picking a game, and I had always kind of ignored it because I never chose my games because I was a prop.
Right.
But
He
he
never
said-
had the opportunity to choose.
But he said to me he would start doing a rating system of literally -3, -2, -1, even, +1, +2, +3. And he would say if a game is not, and he was talking about a limit game, but he would say a game has to be a certain amount of plus for me to want to play.
And obviously the advantage of playing many different games is that you have many different games to choose from.
Exactly. I used to always talk Joe Wynn, and when I mentioned Joe Wynn, the fellow who won the
Right.
2000 World Series bracelet, and I always say, what's your favorite game? He goes, I don't care about my game. He goes, I look for lineups.
Look at this. Another set here for John. He's in position, but again, nobody has top pair. There's 2 hearts out there. I assume he's going to bet in position, and he does.
Yeah, I think he has to here. We've seen people check that though on the button.
Absolutely. But there isn't an aggressive player that's ever going to fire to you with nothing if you check here on the flop.
Right. What is
There
Dr.
would be-
Beebe? Dr. Beebe's going to bluff that
There
every
would be
turn?
no reason to slow play in this game.
No.
I mean, I think when we talk about it's very rare you slow play, one of the few times that you do slow play is when you have an aggressive player and you're checking to get him putting in money with a hand that, when you know you have the best hand.
Yeah,
But with
basically
this
you're inducing a
lineup,
bluff.
but with this lineup, there's no need.
No, 100% correct. There are a lot of different weapons that you can have in your poker arsenal, one of them being inducing a bluff. But when you're sitting down on the table like this, you've got to immediately notice that leave that weapon home. You're not going to use it.
Not in this game
No,
with this lineup.
not a chance.
Kelsey's going to bring this one in for 45 with Queen Jack off suit.
If a picture could say 1,000 words. There it is.
He-Man calls with 9-10 off suit.
Hey, Don, bring him a cup of black coffee from us.
I would love Kelsey's head to go like right in his chips. The whole power fall is
Yeah.
he's bobbing. Oh man. Poor way. Look at BB. He's called with ace-7 of hearts. He might be playing the player here.
Oh, I think he's getting a little antsy. He wants to play some hands.
Well, there's the ace.
He's in first position. He's going to bet it.
He's going to bet
Well,
100.
you know what? Maybe BB is starting to adjust to this game. It's taken him about an hour and a half to figure it out. But maybe he's figuring out, he goes, you know what? There's nobody at this game I have to be scared of. I'm going to start putting some heat on these guys.
Aces are good.
Here's the other thing about BB's game that I don't like. And I do like certain things about his game, but another thing I don't like there is say you have ace-king there. Okay? And you've raised, and maybe 2 or 3 people are in there. And the flop comes to ace-jack-5 with 2 spades. Now BB comes out and bets. The guy in the middle folds. I mean, I pretty much 100% think I have the best hand there in all situations. Don't you? Because would he ever bet 2 pair or a set? Have we ever seen him do that?
Probably not. Yeah, he usually does slow play. You're right.
Right.
Although I will say he made a really odd play. I mentioned it before. I was playing with him the other night, and I was wondering maybe he changed up his play a little because he was playing against me, and I am so familiar with his game. The flop came out King, King, 9.
Right.
And I bet out. I had 10-9, and I bet out. And BB raised me right away. I made it like $50 to go. He made it $150 right away. And just for a second, I was sitting there going, I even said to him, I go, BB, I would be more scared if you just smooth called me. But either way, with a 10-9, I wasn't going to get involved with BB.
No, that's all right.
Got an email here from Bill Momberger as we get a new setup. He said, I enjoy the show, guys. I have a question regarding a no-limit cash game that's very restricted. It's the only game available to me live. The minimum buy-in for the game is 30 big blinds, and the maximum buy-in is 60 big blinds. Player may rebuy or top off a stack to the max at any time. I consider myself a tight, aggressive player who's very disciplined with respect to starting hands and position. Given the structure of my game, what suggestions would you make concerning hand selection and possible pitfalls with small stacks involved? Is the structure of the game so bad that I might be better off playing Limit Hold'em? Bill.
I don't necessarily think the structure is that bad. I mean, that would be in this game you could buy in for $600.
Yeah, the lower games here are more restricted than that.
Yeah. Now, obviously, early on, until you start building up your stack, let's say you buy in for 600 or 60 times big blind, until you start building up your stack, you can't be calling with as many speculative hands, small pocket pairs, suited connectors. You've got to be really aware of what your opponent's stack size is and what yours is.
Kelsey has raised again here. He's made it 60 with ace-queen, and Dudley has called him, and Dudley is dominated here with king-queen suited.
And you wonder if a queen comes, is the drunken sailor in seat number 2 going to get some Dudley's chips?
Well, ace-deuce-king here. Dudley's got second pair.
That might be enough for Dudley to call him a couple times.
Man, I think Kelsey's about to hit the wall here. Look at him. He's standing up at the table.
I think it's all an act.
You think so?
I think it's all an act.
It's like about an $80 bet here.
He likes to do this. He likes to try new things. I think this is all an act.
$85 bet here.
I hate to reveal him on the air, but I'd be willing to bet anybody here that it's an act.
Well, it's funny. You can look at Dudley looking at Kelsey, and his eyes are going back and forth as Kelsey continues to sway.
I think he might have had 3 or 4 shots, and he might have gotten a little bit of a buzz. I think he's absolutely fine. Kelsey's a big guy, and he drinks.
Nutrition and cardio.
Yeah. He made sure everybody saw him drink.
He had 3 shots while he was sitting on the table. Big deal. 3 shots in an hour and a half.
Yeah. Yeah, it's an act. Guaranteed. Guaranteed it's an act.
I mean, I did like 5 shots in like 20 minutes at the end of that Friday show a couple weeks ago.
You have a king? Really?
I'm curious. You know what?
Who said that? I listened to the show. You asked George Ray was saying, I heard you were donking off your chips after that. I mean, I listened to that show, and you asked George, how did Bart play that night? And George said, he played a little bit looser. I like when Bart plays drunk. And that was it.
Okay, Bart, don't be so defensive, man. Jeez. God.
Did you hear something else out there, Ray? Oh, man.
I mean, if there's no truth to it, why are you getting so upset?
Email here from Donald T. Morris. He says, I'm watching for the first time and I'm hooked. Love the commentary.
Donald, man, before you even get to the question, if you're watching for the first time and you're hooked,
watch tomorrow night.
Watch tomorrow night.
Yeah.
I guarantee it, okay? I hate to rip a show, but this is one of the slowest games you'll ever see on this show. It's such an act. He's so full of shit. He's so full of shit. It's so obvious.
Bob is raised here with ace-queen suited. BB is called with pocket tens. We get a show like this once, maybe twice a month. Right. Normally it's actually on a Tuesday. Where
it seems like it, doesn't it?
And again, Eric did make that announcement. Come on, David. Let's get going here. Jesus.
He's trying something. It's like the little Caro thing. Mike Caro, trying to play
The action's
around.
been on him for 2 minutes now. He folds.
Right. Hurry up and fold so everybody else can passively just check and call.
And Dudley here is called with queen 3 offsuit.
What a shocker.
JR's got pocket 4s. He doesn't have enough money to make this call, and he does. Here we go. Four-way action here.
And there's the 10.
Oh, look at this.
There's the 10. Set of 10s for Dr.
Two
Beebe.
people have top pair here.
Now, this is what I always say. You always say, I hate to step on you. Dr. Beebe's got a set. Now, is Bob and Dudley, are they paying attention to how tight Dr. Beebe is? Is he going to get paid off anyway?
I think that Bob is going to bet, Beebe is going to call, and there's going to be an action killer on the turn. I just smell it. $100 bet here by Bob.
That might be me.
And look at this. Beebe is Jew.
He's not a Jew. He's clearly not Jewish.
He's thinking about raising. All right, hey.
No way.
That's
I am
stick
wrong.
that in your pipe and smoke
That's
it.
right. I am wrong. I could have sworn he was
And
just
look
going
how
to call
confused
there.
Dudley is. Wait a second.
Yeah.
I've got a queen. I've got a queen.
I got to tell you, I love the raise here by Dr. Beebe. I really do. Now, this is a great case where if you're Bob, if you've been paying attention, do you continue on with ace-queen here in this spot?
I'd throw away queen 8. I would throw away a set of 10s, a set of 8s right now.
I think it's a nice raise by Beebe. And I think what Beebe falls into kind of thinking is, well, if I raise here and this guy folds, I'm going to revert back to just calling because anytime I raise, nobody gives me action.
Well,
They'll
that's
fold
the
ace
problem.
queen.
The problem is that Beebe only raises. He only really puts money in with made hands.
As opposed to draws and such like that.
Now, if he would have, let's say, okay, let me throw something at you. Let's say Beebe had king, jack of diamonds.
Right.
Huge hand, right? It's a huge draw,
Right.
huge hand. Let's say Beebe were to raise with that
Yeah.
one day. And look at this. Bob is going to lay it down.
Beebe shows the set. Now, again, though, I like the raise by Dr. Beebe.
You're the queen?
I definitely like that play. It did not win him money in the long run, but
Young queen 10. Ace queen. I put myself on a queen, no kicker. Nice hand.
Beebe takes it down there.
You slow players can get us a little bit, though. Yeah, I know. I wouldn't slow play either.
Is everybody with me here that Kelsey is clearly faking? Or do you guys actually think he's drunk?
I don't know.
I want to get polls because I know.
Look at that shot.
Ray thinks he's drunk. Donna thinks he's drunk. Isaac, thumbs up, thumbs down. Isaac thinks he's drunk. Ronnie? Ronnie actually thinks he's drunk too. Evelyn and I are the only ones. What are you, Bart?
I don't think he's drunk.
Okay, Evelyn, there you go.
We got to get him in the booth here.
It's 4-3. Evelyn, our executive producer, Bart and myself all think he's faking. While the guys and Donna, Isaac, Ronnie, and Ray and Donna have all actually fallen for his little act.
Eric is raised here with queen jack in the cutoff, and John is called with pocket sevens. Now an ace has come on flop here, and Eric really needs to make a continuation bet here with queen jack, and that's going to do it. I don't think John's going to continue on with the hand.
And this is the part of Eric's game that's actually really improved.
Yeah.
He bets this.
Absolutely.
He takes the ace. He goes, okay, I'm going to use that. The guy checked to me. I'm not going to take the card, obviously.
Well, sometimes that's why I like queen jack in certain situations, because there are four cards that really do your hand well on the flop.
Exactly.
An ace, a king, a queen, or a jack. Wow, I am shocked here. Unless John is some sort of read here on Eric, I am really surprised here. Now, the turn is another ace. It's a third spade.
I mean, John doesn't even have the 7 of spades in his hand.
And it goes check, check here. And the river is a 10. Oh, and now John is going to come out and bet.
Is there any value to betting this at all? I mean, can you get somebody off pocket 9s or pocket jacks or pocket queens?
Possibly. Pocket jacks, pocket queens, pocket kings.
Really? Wow.
Tell me your real name, man.
Okay, hey, all the power to him. Another pitfall, by the way. Remember we mentioned pitfalls you can look for. It's kind of like poker scams, okay? This will be the theme of the show. It's taken about 2 hours to come up with it. But anyway, the theme of it, the first one we saw where Dudley kind of blind raised. And we said kind of beware of that. Make sure the opponent actually hasn't looked at his hand. Also beware of the guy that comes in and acts drunk. Because sometimes they are, and sometimes, yes, you can win a lot of money off some guy who's just drunk and just giving away money. But sometimes they are acting, and they are setting you up.
You said you suck.
I don't care if I'm something.
Dimitri, for on one hand, is clearly not acting.
I just need a little bit of luck sometimes.
Dimitri is there to gamble. He's there to have a good time. Great guy, and he's here to give your money. Here, take my money.
Got an email here from Brian Krish. He said, just have a quick question regarding semi-bluffs Semi-bluffing players in Limit Hold'em. I recently ran into a guy at a very small level of limit who would raise the flop and turn with any draw and big hands. I found myself in trouble putting him on a hand where normally I would put most limit players on monster hands. I was stuck not knowing where I was against him. Any tips on how to play limit players like this? Well, here we see another shot there by Kelsey. If a guy is playing the hand like that, that's actually really an advanced form of limit play if he's raising on the big bet street with big draws and with monsters. Usually never see that at a lower limit.
No, you usually don't.
Yeah. Now, JR is all in here. He's got ace-king. I believe we had a raise by...
Don't ask him yet. I'm in.
Couldn't quite tell.
This is the best hand I
Oh,
have.
I guess it was limped around and JR has moved all in.
Yeah.
Best one left.
There was no initial raise. It was just $10 each round. I mean, that adds up. That's $60 there.
But I mean, remember, we've done probably at least 30 or 40 limit shows on this show. You can watch the archives. Some of it 20, 40, 30, 60, and majority of it 8, 16. And I don't think at any time we ever saw guys raising with their draws on the turn. I mean, that is really an advanced play in Limit Hold'em. And with their monsters.
Yeah.
And when Barry Greenstein was in here talking about the big level of limit when he did the 300, 600 game, he was talking about how lower level players will raise the flop with their draws and then maybe take a card, and it's kind of an obvious holding what they have. Whereas players who move up will raise the turn with their draws and with their big hands. So it's very...
They mix up their game a little bit.
Because we always say, Dave, if someone in that 8-16 level has raised the big betting rounds, one pair is almost never good.
$8,000 on the table. Dr. Beebe's got the table covered still. Eric in second place. Kelsey in third place. Let's see how they're doing. Eric's big winner here, up $600. He-Man up $230. Dudley, Beebe, and JR are pulling up the rear there. JR down $350 tonight. I can't remember a hand that he played, really, but he's down $350. Now, what's your advice to the guy, though? How does he play against a guy like this?
50
Let me think about it. I'll get to it
Okay,
in a second.
go ahead. I was going to say, what are you? You're screwed, dude. Sorry.
Raise out of the blind here by John with ace-jack. He's going to take it down.
And basically, he's found himself he's playing small limit hold'em. He's playing in a smaller game, and he's playing against a guy who's pretty good. He's a good player. You know, against a guy like that, I mean, you might want to have position on a guy like that. You might want to, if you can, avoid a player like that. I'm sure there's weaker fish to get.
I mean, it's tough. I think sometimes you have to make calls with one pair on a raised big bet round, whereas, like I said, with everybody else at that level, it's an easy fold, right?
I mean, you might even... one thing I can say you can do, Brian, is if you think if your opponent might be raising on a draw, you might really make him pay for it and 3-bet him.
Right.
Because if you start 3-betting him, well, then he's going to start quickly realizing that, wow, it's now costing me 2 extra big bets for my draw.
Right.
And that's the last thing a limit hold'em player wants. Let's say I have a big flush draw, and I'm thinking of, well, I'm going to try to represent, so I raise the turn, and my opponent 3-bets me. Well, now I have to call because I still have the flush draw, but it's costing me an awful lot of money to go for that draw.
Again, you can also become our MySpace friend by going to myspace.com/liveatthebike. Become our friend.
I mean,
What happened to your MySpace?
I told you, whatever. Whatever, man. I'm over it, okay? Fuck Tom.
Tom.
Exactly, Tom.
Tom barred your account?
I don't know what he did. I eliminated him. I don't have an account anymore. I don't know what happens. Forget it. Somebody wants to contact me, email me at live@thebike.com. I'll get to you.
If you delete Tom, they'll take away your account.
I guess so. I don't know.
Limped around here 5 ways.
Surprise, surprise, no jack on the flop.
Well, how about a 10 here for Eric? He's got jack 10.
And he's going to bet it, and Dudley's going to call.
60.
He's open-ended.
Yeah, he makes the call. Bob has got overcards and a gut shot to the nut straight draw. I don't think he's going to get involved here.
No. We'll see this heads up here.
Turn is a 6. Eric is still good.
Yep, changes nothing.
Now he's going to check, and Dudley checks right behind him. The river here is a deuce.
And oftentimes you can do that with your draw by just calling. unless your opponent is super strong, oftentimes they will give you the free card.
Now, it's interesting here. If I had played it in that manner that Eric did, and I checked and Dudley checked behind me, I might actually check call the river against a guy that might fire out as a bluff.
Yeah, there's not much value to betting
Yeah.
the river once you've given him the free card.
Might check it again on the river.
Yeah, I agree. Now, when you're playing poker, and I'll say this with Limit Hold'em, if there's ever a tough question, obviously the answer is always it depends. But I like to revert back to the old famous raise or fold. If you think you have the best hand, raise them. If you don't think you have the best hand, fold. Unless, of course, you've got a draw to a big hand. But generally, that raise or fold mantra, it does promote a more aggressive winning style of poker.
Baron Vanguard Toth says, hey, Barton Tuck, I've been watching for an hour, but I think the dude is doing a drunk gimmick.
There we
There you
go.
go.
Baron's with us.
Three-way action here, limped around, all spades on the flop. He-Man has got an ace. He's got the best hand. Nobody has a spade in their hand. And it's going to get checked around. Now a fourth spade comes. And now Kelsey's made two pair. But he's going to check it as it's a fourth spade. And Dudley's going to take a shot at it here. And I don't even know if Kelsey's going to call here.
Well, he's only got a bluff catcher. I mean, 2 pair, 1 pair, it doesn't make a difference.
$45 bet.
Nobody would be betting. Only a spade would bet this, right?
Or a bluff.
I actually had an interesting hand with Trish, Corporation Mom, last night, where it was a 4 flush on the board.
Does she like when she calls for that? Really? Corporation Mom? Yeah.
Anyway, I had an interesting hand with her last night where there was a 4 flush out there on the board, right?
Yeah.
And I had the king of spades. Just like this, but there was no ace out there. So I had the second nut flush. And I put a little bet out there. I put $100 out there. It folded around. It went to Trish, and she raised me to $300. Now, she was on the button, and I really thought, it had checked around in the flop. I really thought if she had the ace of spades, she probably would have bet the flop.
Yeah.
But she didn't. She took the card. So that kind of told me, I said, okay, I don't think she's got the ace. I'm going to call this.
Yeah.
Of course, on the river, I check it to her, because there's no point in me betting. There's no value in me betting that. And she didn't follow through, and she checked it.
Yeah.
She had the jack of spades. But it was really an interesting spot where I was like, Mike was actually saying to his mother, he goes, man, if you bet 700 on the river, I don't think Dave can call you. She was saying I would call, and I was like, I don't know, against her.
Well, Gus has been remarkably quiet tonight. He's got pocket kings. And I assume he's going to jack this up one time.
45.
He's going to make it 45 to go here. Dudley has got garbage here. And Gus is going to take it down. Got a little over an hour left in the show here, Dave.
I would
Bullshit.
I would not call him if I
Dudley,
could.
you'd want to crack his ass so bad.
No. I don't even care.
Once again, tomorrow night is our whale night. We're going to have 20, 40 blinds, $2,000 minimum buy-in, and the chips will be flying around the table. Last Wednesday, we had over $80,000 on the table.
I don't care what's in that seat.
Big winner up 10,000, big loser down 10,000. The action was phenomenal, and tomorrow night promises to be more of the same.
Look at this. We got a link here somebody sent us
For
for David Kelsey's IMDb page. Hey, Donna, ask Kelsey if he's been on 24 in the West Wing before. Yeah, so it's the same guy. He's got a couple.
you didn't know he was an
credits.
actor? I thought you knew.
I didn't know. No, I thought he was more. He did like behind the scenes work. I know he was.
He does
trying to
that also.
develop
Yeah,
a
he does
show.
everything a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that!
But
In Cheap by the Dozen, he was the assistant coach. That was a great role.
I don't remember that. Is it,
Oh, it was a fabulous assistant coach.
how big was that role?
He had a line or two, I think.
40 more.
Kelsey's going to raise it here to 40 more with ace queen offsuit.
40 more.
Look at this. In Pepper Dennis, he played fireman.
Oh, in the pilot. That's the show with. Is that the show with
Rebecca.
Rebecca Romaine? Right? Is that canceled now? It was on WB.
It's not canceled, is it?
I don't know. John has called him with king 10 of clubs, and BB is in there with queen 10 of spades. Now, John has got nut clubs here, Dave, and Kelsey has flopped an ace. Now, if you're John, will you raise here with the nut club draw? He's bet 100 here. I mean, I can tell you, if John were to make a big raise or move in here, I think it would really put Kelsey to the test if John played a set in the same manner or two pair. He's going to call, though. BB is out of there.
Now, the one thing about calling with clubs is it's very obvious. If a club falls, that's what Kelsey's going to be looking for. Now, let's say you had 7-4 here, and an 8 were to come off, or in this case, let's say you had 7-8.
7-8 of clubs, something like that.
Let's see, if you had 7-8 of clubs, obviously you've got a bigger draw. But even if you have 7-8 here, you catch a 9, you might make some money off of Kelsey. A club comes off, you're not going to make much, I don't think.
Well, Kelsey's trying to figure out how he's going to play this. The pot is now almost $400.
I think you need to bet this. You can't be scared of 7-8 specifically. You need to bet this. You can't give your opponent a free card if he is on a club draw.
And if you are going to bet, you might, you know what? It's kind of a toss. Well, look at this. He checks it, and John is going to bet 100 here. And now if you continue on with the hand, you might just check raise them all in. I was going to say if Kelsey was going to bet, it almost might be an all-in bet, but now he is going to check raise all in.
I think John misplayed that. I mean, if Kelsey is going to be...
Yeah.
I think Kelsey misplayed it, too, by giving the free card. And I think John should have taken the free card, clearly. You got to realize, look at the board. The board is ace-6-5. Your opponent bet into you. Good chance your opponent probably has an ace.
Now, my question is that John has played it pretty tight all night. It was a $400 pot on the turn. John had $400 left. A lot of people would just move in there. Do you make a $200 bet and try to string along ace-jack and ace-10 and then move in on the river and the guy can't get away from it, kind of building a pot up?
Yeah, we've seen that sometimes, obviously.
Yeah.
It's one of those cases where if you're planning on bluffing or you think you might have to bluff, you've got to save enough ammunition on the river to get him off hand.
No, but I mean just building a pot up with ace-queen here.
Oh, I see.
Betting, you know. Well, John's trying to figure out pot odds.
I think at this point, though, you don't really want to string him along. Because, yeah, he could have ace-jack or ace-10, but he also could have clubs.
He's made the call here, Dave. $300 for a $1,000 pot. He does not have odds with pure clubs here. And the river here is a 6.
No. And Kelsey wins this.
Not even that strong. Nice hand.
I mean, the pot was about... I want to say the pot was about 1,300 to call. And again, he has a dry flush draw. He's getting about 3.5 to 1, but with one card to come...
He even said it because he has a bad call.
With one card to come, Dave, he needs 4 to 1. Because he's got one chance in 5. 9 outs.
Get somebody else in.
And John departs.
But I think the mistake he really made, obviously the call was somewhat frustrating for him. I think the mistake was not taking the free card.
I should have taken the free card.
Yes.
And there you go.
Absolutely.
You hear me even saying that now. I should have taken the free card.
We never really want to get check raised off of a draw.
Yeah.
You know what, though? I don't necessarily know if the bet is all that bad if he folds to a check raise, because if Kelsey was raising with kings or queens, there is fold equity with that ace out there. So if he checked to me, I might bet there too. I mean, it's a lot easier for us to say in that situation. Once he check raises me, I think it's an easy laydown. But he threw a $100 bet out there.
I guess, yeah, I guess. I mean, sometimes when you're short stack like that, I think it's really important to know how to take free cards. Now, if you're a lot deeper and you've got $2,000, well, in that case, you know, you can make a play on the pot, and if the guy calls you or raises you, well, then you can rethink about it because there's some more implied odds. Your opponent also knows that they can lose a lot more money because you have $2,000 behind. In that case, obviously, Kelsey's not scared because he's only going to lose another $300.
Three-way action here. And it was a raised pot here by, I think it might have been by, was it by Gus?
I think it was actually Kelsey on the button.
And Kelsey's flopped middle pair. It's get checked to him. I'm surprised that Gus called with ace-10 offsuit. I mean, is he going to check raise all in? I mean, it's really tough with these stack sizes because if he check raises all in, he'll probably get called by an ace.
Oh, he's definitely getting called by an ace.
But if he check raises all in and Kelsey doesn't have an ace, he's just going to throw it away.
Yeah, these are the problems that ace-10 create. Email here from Riley G. Matthews. He said, man, he is faking. I've seen The Sting. Talk about a great movie. That is
a great movie. And who was the kind of the fake drunk in that movie? Who was the character that played that? Well, Gus is going to check call here. And this is, again, a very, very tough spot here with ace-10. The turn is a 3.
Go ahead.
And now Kelsey takes a card.
I like it. Take the card there, see if you can spike a jack or a king.
River's a 7, and it gets checked down.
And you see the problem with ace-10 there. Gus can't really push hard. All he can do is check. He gives Kelsey a free draw at the winner on the river. Kelsey doesn't get there, but Gus makes the minimum.
Thanks
Barry Woods here.
Thanks for the email.
Finally says, Kelsey is not drunk, not for publication. Oh, shoot, sorry.
You had Queen Jack?
There you go. Well, we already said this, Barry.
Yeah.
What's the difference? I mean, I've already been...
Some of your money back, bro.
He said he was going to fake it tonight to project an image. Good pickup on that talk. Don't announce it for those 2+ tours. This is great. Sorry, Barry.
Who's coming into the game?
I started reading it before I read that. Next time, Barry, next time you send something that's not for
Look at this.
publication.
Look who's coming in the game, Dave. It's Patrick.
Yeah, Patrick's
Oh,
always in
wow.
town when the tournaments are here.
Yeah.
Do me a
Action
favor.
player.
If there's ever an email you want to send to us that you don't want us to read
Well,
out
I
loud-
thought you were just doing it anyways. I was pointing
No,
it out because
no,
I
no,
had read the email.
I don't want to be an ass about
Yeah.
it. If there's ever an email you don't want us to read, in
Please
the
do it at the
subject,
beginning. Right.
in the subject matter, right? Please do not read.
Right.
And we won't read it. But in this case, obviously, we've been pointing out for the last 30 minutes that Kelsey is not drunk. He's just faking it.
Patrick is action. And Patrick, this is an uncapped game, and I'm sure that Don is going to let Patrick know that this is an uncapped game. This is not the 3 to 5 game.
Hey.
And this is really going to make the last hour of the show
Yeah.
a bit more entertaining.
40 more.
The only guy I fear in this game is
40 more here by JR. I assume he's going to take it down here. Email here from Steven Lantvit. He agrees. He says, Kelsey is full of shit. His coordination comes and goes.
Well,
Like
have
a
you ever
light
seen
switch.
Kelsey? Kelsey's coordination comes and goes.
Anyways.
Yeah. And another one here. Kevin Prendergast says, no way he is that drunk. He also says, why are you guys so critical of Dr. Beebe's play? I know he leaves some money on the table, but I don't see him have too many losing nights. If he is in it for the consistent cash game, doesn't it make sense for him to play tight? Some nights he gets guys to pay him off. Hey, you guys are 100% correct. As far as I'm concerned, he gets a lot of players to consistently pay him off. It just amazes me. I don't know why anybody ever pays him off.
Bob, you bet? I call Bob.
And as long as people are going to keep paying Dr. Beebe off, there's really no reason for him to change his game. He's comfortable playing at that speed, so to speak.
Reynolds Jr. He emails us and says, my little 5-year-old sister is faking better than Kelsey tonight.
I swear you're scared. Russ, just muck it. You know you're going to muck it.
Andrew Young said, I reject Tom from the get-go on my MySpace page. I wasn't kicked off. Jack 10 of hearts against ace 7 of hearts here.
Well, good for you, Andrew, man. Me and you, buddy.
And Bob is going to lead out here with Jack 10 of hearts. I believe he was the pre-flop raiser. I don't know if Dudley can call there. Wow, Dudley's going to call.
Well, he's got a wheel draw here. If he catches a 3, he will have a straight. Well, look at this. He's got top pair now.
Careful.
100.
And now Bob's going to lead for 100 here. He's really trying to represent an overpair here, Dave.
How much is that, Bob?
100.
You're going to take all my money, huh?
Nah, I don't want all of it. You can muck.
Looks like the station on 2+2 has started a poll. Is Kelsey drunk?
I wanted to muck, but I can't muck yet.
River
5
is
on the
5.
river. Changes nothing.
And he's going to move all in here. He's really putting him to the test,
Yeah,
but
he's not, though. The pot's too big now.
I don't know. Yeah. Well, let's see.
The pot, wait a second. The pot is like almost $600.
How much to call?
Like $200 to call.
250. You don't think he's played it like an overpair? You
He
might not
has.
muck ace 7 here?
I would have folded it on the flop. I definitely
Yeah.
would have folded on the turn. But at this point, the pot is too big to throw it away, isn't it?
I don't know. Well, if it's an $800 pot, 200 to call.
Come on, you think Dudley's going to lay this down? Really?
Well, remember, the other thing that you might throw out there is that he is now pushed in on the 5. He might have done it anyways with an overpair, but he doesn't really seem that scared of the 5, which was top pair on the flop.
Right. I mean, that's the interesting thing. What is Bob trying to represent? Is he representing a 5 here? Because if he's representing a 5, he played it really odd. And if he has an overpair, wouldn't the 5 scale? You know what I mean?
But I think he might get Dudley to lay it down here.
How do you call a flop in the turn and then lay it down in the river? No way.
Bob, why are you so relaxed?
called my hand. Pocket 10.
How much am I using now?
Come on, Steve. Come on. See that.
This is kind of a move that Mo does. How much am I down here tonight? Should I make this call or not?
Yeah, I never understood it. It's the one part of Mo's game I just do not understand at all. Mo even claims he goes, hey, if I'm going home in 30 minutes and I'm up through 2,000, I play different than if I'm leaving in 30 minutes and I'm down 2,000.
Wait, let me have my money back. You think I was trying to... I'm just tricking
And he
you.
called.
He called. I figured he would.
I'm a bad
And Bob
boy.
played it
You
so
don't mess
tight,
with
and
me.
oftentimes you can see this with players that even play it tight.
I'm a
They
flush
might
baby.
pick on a player to bluff that you really wouldn't want to bluff, right?
This is the reason Dr. Beebe makes money at this game.
Because BB would get paid off by a 7 there,
Well,
right?
no. Okay, if Bob had 10s like he was
Right.
portraying, he would have gotten paid off the entire way. It's kind of the reason why, if you're playing in a game like this, you don't need to bluff, not big pots. I mean, you can steal small pots here and there, but you don't want to bluff in a big pot. You also don't need to,
I said, Bob,
you don't want to induce bluffs, obviously.
Bob, I knew you didn't love me, Bob.
He rubs it in there.
He knew it. He knew it. No doubt, he knew it.
David, we are David, get a poker lesson from me.
And look at it, overwhelming.
Build up your chest.
To settle the trunk question, 89% of 2 plus 2 are saying no, and 11% say yes. Now, I'd love to get an honest view of everybody at home. Did you think he was drunk before I pointed out the fact that I thought he was faking?
Take these back. I don't want to change.
Donna still thinks he's drunk.
You like that style? Oh, yeah. But I told you. No, it's not
There he is, man, the myth, the legend, Kelsey.
Why you so real?
What is that, a beanie hat he has on there?
I'm not lying.
Bud moves over here to seat 5 to JR.
Now, just so you know, if you ever want to try the drunk act, the drunk act actually works in a lot shorter run. You want to kind of do it in a hit-and-run type fashion, where you sit down, you bring a couple of beers, you act like a complete moron for 20 minutes, you show down a couple of bluffs, then you win a couple of big pots and you leave because somebody pays you off. I'm not advocating it, but if you really want to try it, it works better in short spurts.
Well, JR's limped in here with pocket 6s.
Just tough to keep it going for a full 3 hours.
And we're going to see this limped around through A's between the button and the blinds. Ace 9-6. Well, how about a set for JR? Again, nobody has an ace.
I got to tell you, if I'm JR, though,
Make it look like a steal. And it gets
I got to tell you, I'm surprised Gus didn't bet that.
checked around, turns a 7.
And now Bob is open-ended.
Open-ended to the nut to the 10. And I'm surprised he didn't bet there on the turn.
Thank you, sir.
And now JR bets 25. And is Bob tilting here a little bit?
I don't know. I mean, it was a really odd play. I don't
He calls.
call him the open-ended straight draw. Thinks maybe he even thinks his jack is good if it hits it.
Maybe even an, well, it would be tough if a river's king here. He checks.
And JR is going to bet this, and Bob can't call.
Davey, where's the drink? Come on, Davey. Something.
You know the funny thing about this hand, and it's just a little small thing.
Go ahead.
He checked the flop, he bet the turn, and now he is betting the river when a king appears. He either has a monster or he has nothing. Isn't that pretty much, there's no doubt about that?
Right.
You
Yeah.
can put through like the range of hands. If he bet on a 7 there, now he's going to bet again on the river with the king. Smells like aces up, a set, a straight, or he's just bluffing, right?
Probably. I mean, yeah. I mean, you think about it. More often than not, when somebody bets the river, they are either bluffing or they've got a pretty big hand. Most players don't have the don't have the guts to actually bet kind of a marginal hand
Now, a
for value.
great, more advanced play, but I don't know if JR was capable of doing it. We saw Jonas do it a couple weeks ago. If you had ace-deuce there, and for some reason you checked the flop, then you bet the turn you got called, and you value betted an ace on the river. I mean, that's what kind of makes the more money for the better players. I don't know really, why you would check the flop, but if you played it in that manner.
Switch it up a little bit. Sometimes by just checking it one street, you get money where you wouldn't even get called. We've seen Jonas do that where he made out of a nothing pot, he ended up making $1,200–1,300.
Patrick is raised with a good old 6-2 soft suit here.
Coming after you, young man.
And Dudley is called with 9-10 of
I'm
diamonds.
scared of you, but oh shit.
Well, if Patrick follows up with a bet here, he's probably going to take it down.
Always doing that to me. Always doing that to me. How much?
And Patrick's going to have no problem making those continuation bets. Look at the way he chews that cud.
What is Dudley doing?
You scared me many times.
The flop is Jack 7-5 Rainbow.
Calling it today.
And he
Anything
calls.
you do, I want to do it.
He makes the call.
I don't want to see it. Anything you do.
The turn is an 8. Now he picks up a big draw.
Actually,
Well,
he's
he
there.
made the straight. He had the gut shot.
He had the gut shot and he hit it.
And now he's got a flush draw, too.
Wow, and Patrick's got a straight draw.
And Patrick moves all in with the 6. And Dudley has the nuts. What is he waiting for? He's got the nuts with the diamond redraw.
Oh.
Look at it. Look at that hand, baby.
Oh, this is a slow roll. If I've ever seen a slow roll. I think Patrick might get pissed off here, Dave.
A 9, 8, a jack. I call, baby, I call.
I don't think Patrick's going to be too amused here, Dave. Oh, man. And he's drawing dead.
I call, baby. I
His
call.
watches it. Look at this. This is great.
River's a queen, and he makes a flush. He's got a straight flush.
Straight flush.
He's got a straight flush, Dave.
Send it down to me. I tell you.
Oh, I don't think Patrick's going to be amused at all.
Wait, let's stay on Patrick here.
I know.
I love that hand. Are you kidding me? Straight. Everything comes to me. You never mess with me.
I mean, it took so long to call with the nuts with the diamond redraw. Oh, my God.
Yes, Gus. Gus, where were you at? Gus, I took my watch in there. My $20,000 watch. Gus, where were you at, dude? Gus, I was gonna bust you.
Oh, man. Patrick's going to rebuy for 500 behind.
I know.
Yeah, Donna, let him know that he can buy in for more. It's not a restricted game.
Yeah.
Okay. And sometimes Patrick does like to buy in small so he can make that move.
Maybe. Oh, you would ask. Okay, I was just curious. Ooh, not me. I didn't.
I was wondering why you didn't.
I think somebody asked to see Patrick's hand, and they showed it, too.
Got an email from Barry Woods that says, okay, you guys can release the info now. Kelsey just text paged me and told me I could tell you guys. Okay, we already knew. And he said, I thought initially it was believable. And it was. You know, initially it was believable. But it's hard to keep that going for 3 hours.
Hey, let's tell Dudley to put the cards over in seat 4's window here this hand.
By the way, and he also says, P.S., by the way, I will be there tomorrow with a new pair of panties. Wow. Well, I'm excited. Well, I hope you don't play it too differently than you did Friday. I really enjoyed the way you played on Friday, Barry.
That was a monster. Did I give you any money? No, I didn't. Take another one. Okay. Maybe I did forget.
Oh, man, 4-way action here. Kelsey did not raise with ace-queen.
Two pair here for Gus. He's got top and bottom, and Kelsey's got ace-queen. Now, this is the problem with not raising with a hand like ace-queen. You don't raise, and you have no idea where you're at. Somebody can easily have two pair here, and in this case, Gus has got it.
Kelsey bets, and Dudley might string along with ace-5 here, Dave. And I think it is an easy raise here for Gus.
Oh, it's a no-brainer.
Let's see what Gus is going to do. $40 bet and a call.
I think it's an easy raise to about $120.
120, 125. I'd probably make it 125 here.
Yeah, I mean, you call 40 and then you make it 80 more. You really put some heat on these guys.
There it is, 125 to go. And can Kelsey continue on with his hand in an unraised pot?
You really don't want to go broke in an unraised pot. Problem is, your opponent could have anything. Now, you wouldn't necessarily put Gus on ace-king when he didn't raise pre-flop, but he could easily have two pair, he could easily have a set.
He's in the hand, man.
Now, the action's on the BB, and I don't know if he knows it.
Dr. BB, the action's on you, buddy. Dr. BB, the action's on you.
It amazes me.
Come on, dealer.
I know, what is the dealer?
What is the dealer looking at?
I don't know, it amazes me.
I know. I mean, she's looking the other direction.
Yeah. BB had no clue he had cards.
Yeah.
BB had Jack 10. No diamond in his hands.
I saw one card.
Oh, some of these dealers, man.
No, she's a great dealer.
I know.
But, you know, I mean, they lose concentration for a second and they forget to keep the game going. It happens.
And the action's now on Eric, and I don't know if he... Oh, there you go. He folds. Is Kelsey going to continue on here? Wow, he's going to call, and he's in trouble here.
Yes, well, he can catch a 7 or a queen.
Now, Dudley, he really needs to get rid of this hand.
That's an easy
quickly.
laydown for Dudley. It's a real easy laydown for Dudley. I mean, Dudley can obviously catch a 5 or running diamonds, but I think it's an easy laydown.
He might have seen both, but he said he swear he's seen just one.
No, I'm not starting to score this game. How does this occur? I was just so happy about the
He
game.
raised 35.
You called.
Yeah, he
Call.
raised,
Re-raise.
Just saw your card and call.
Mud. Call. Now it's your turn.
Dudley's a little confused about the action, but it went bet, call,
Had it
raise.
happen, yeah.
Yeah.
We're playing poker.
Yeah.
Look at this. I
Look
never
at
lay
this.
this down to nobody.
Yeah, I never lay this down to nobody, but I'm going to do it today. Nice laydown there. Nice laydown, Dudley.
And Kelsey's in real big trouble. Turn is a 4.
Well, he can now catch an 7, a 4, or a queen. And I think it's calls for a big bet by Gus. And I don't think that's enough.
Gus is going to bet 200 here.
I actually would probably bet 300 here, but 200 should get it done.
I don't think Kelsey's going to continue. It does not look like.
Now,
He said he wants to pot, though.
all he can really beat is diamonds, right? I mean, I guess he could beat Ace-Jack, but is Gus really going to play Ace-Jack that hard?
Yeah, he was looking at you like,
You know what,
man.
David? You got a stat?
Look, it doesn't look like Kelsey suddenly got sober.
Did you hear what Kelsey just said?
What?
If that ever sounds gay.
What is
You
that?
got a set? Got a set?
I know you don't have
Once again, the views expressed by Bart.
You live.
Kelsey thinking about what he can beat here. Really can't beat anything except a draw.
Pot is $550, 200 to call. He shows him the ace queen, and he folds.
Show it, Gus. Gus, please
Show me your blind.
Gus,
Just show it. It's 1-3.
Show me your other one.
Shows a
And the
3.
river was a 3.
You said tonight.
Changes nothing. Gus
Interesting
would've just
email here
got it
by
better.
Rachel Rollins. And she makes a good point.
See how I did that? It's that easy.
Kelsey wants to look drunk.
It's that easy.
If he wants to look drunk, he shouldn't be so obviously scanning the table when he stands up and leaves. Also, he should have taken a bathroom break by now. Can't agree more.
This is great. This is forget about poker. This is acting lessons here at Live at the Bike.
I won't say anything. He's a fool. I'm gonna get him back. All right. I don't care.
Want me to tell you where he lives?
No, I don't want to know it. He's all right. He's just a clown. That's all. I call you, baby. Bust me like I wanted to bust Barry. Bust you instead of bust.
A couple of black 9s on the button for Dr. Beebe.
Mango,
I imagine. Now,
mango
to me,
allow.
this is an easy raise. Now, Beebe usually will limp in with this, and I just think it's an easy raise on the button. I don't want to limp in here. I want to take the money down. And the reason I want to raise this up is, first of all, I'm going to limit the field. Second of all, if I get called in one spot or two spots, if they check to me, I can probably take it away.
You got a dirty stat.
Now, if flop comes out like this, and he's giving the pot away, and you don't even know, is even BB, he has the best hand still, but is he going to give his pot away anyway?
Well, if you played 9s in this manner, I still think you fire at the flop on the button if it gets checked to you.
Of course.
Well, he is going to bet here.
Well, there you go, okay.
75.
He's going to bet 75.
And that should be enough to get it done.
Right there.
Somebody make it 75.
Kelsey's out of there. Dudley's got middle pair. And this is what you're talking about. If Dudley calls here, this is how Dr. Beebe makes money. No, he's not going to call.
If you want to play the drunk act, there was actually a new user said, hey, Kelsey is playing too tight to be drunk. He magically loses his motor skills and inhibitions, yet still manages to fold those ever so tempting suited hands. Good point there, new user. I was going to say, if you're going to play that kind of like drunk act, you got to really like mix it up. Throw a couple $100 out there. Throw your chips in the pot. Raise some garbage hands. Show a bluff down. Play it all the way to the, go all the way with it. Be committed.
Some people voicing some strong opinions about Dudley. And amongst all that yelling, the station on 2+2 says, Dudley said, "Are you kidding me?" Unknowingly using a classic Live the Bike line.
Wow.
He-Man's going to
He
raise
has
it
to
up
pay
here.
us for that, doesn't he? Don't we have royalties?
He-Man's going to make it 50 to go.
I thought we
with
get
ace
11
king.
cents every time somebody says that.
Now, it's interesting. We talk about how tight passive BB plays. He's really not all that tight pre-flop. Because I was wondering if you would ever call with ace-deuce of diamonds there. Well, he easily gets away from it against a short stack. But I've definitely seen him call ace-suited hands. And he will play an ace very passively. As you kind of have to if you play that hand.
Of course. But we're going to see this heads up here. Eric versus He-Man.
Eric with king-queen. He is dominated.
Now, Eric's on the button, though, and if He-Man cannot follow through with a bet on his ace-king, well, check.
Well,
and
now
there's
the
the
turn's
ace.
an ace.
Surprised Eric did not try to take it away there.
And it goes check. Now He-Man checks the ace again, and now Eric's going to bet.
And He-Man cannot lose his hand.
I was going to say, Eric sometimes will fire as a bluff. I'm a little surprised on the flop he didn't bet.
Yeah, I mean, you got to. It was kind of odd. Your opponent checked to you. Okay, now the ace comes. Now you're going to bluff. I probably bluff at it on the flop.
And now He-Man is going to mini check raise, and Eric is out of there. Yeah, when a guy checks the flop, you can check behind him, and then he checks an ace on the turn. It's a little bit peculiar, Dave.
It's like, what does this guy have? You have a pocket pair or you got an ace? Which one?
Yeah.
I think Ronnie's offended because I didn't need any junior mints.
I think Patrick is trying to use an iPod. Unfortunately for him, it's not allowed on the table. Donna is, hopefully that won't drive him away from the table.
It could, though. We'll see. I don't think he wants to listen.
This guy is one character over in C3, huh?
Yeah, he really is. He is a character. Got infinite one there saying, hey, man, even Dr. BB is laughing at this dude. Table is moving very, very slow. Can't wait for tomorrow. That makes two of us. Tomorrow night, once again, it's our 2040 no-limit hold'em. Unrestricted buying game, probably close to $100,000 on the table. A lot of action.
What's this? Ace 10?
Eric's going to limp in here with Jack 9.
What's that? Your turn, buddy. I call it.
Kelsey's going to raise. 7-8 offsuit, and Dudley immediately calls here with a hand that is tough to play out of position.
It really is. And the one thing with Dudley, it's tough to play against this guy because he will call the flop with nothing. Really tough to put him on a hand.
He might kind of pull an Allen-esque and call here if it's all rags, taking one off.
He might even call if, say, a queen comes out.
Well, if a jack... Eric is out of there. So 7-8 against ace-jack here.
Well, there's a jack, so that's pretty easy now.
No look check.
He says no-look
You
check.
check as well. You silly, stupid fool. Oh, my gosh.
And Kelsey checks behind him.
I bet without looking next. I bet without looking. 60.
You're looking. What are you talking about?
No. I bet before the other card comes. Can you call
This guy kind of reminds me of Francois. Before we had to pull Francois and tell him, you have to end the shenanigans or you'll never play on Live at the Bike again. You remember that a couple months ago?
You're not entertained by this guy?
No, I am somewhat, but I mean, do you remember Francois in the 3-5 game?
I do.
You know, our producer Evelyn had to pull him aside to be like, listen, you're holding up the game.
Now, what do you do? I mean, what do you recommend? Let's say you're playing at a table with a guy like this that's driving you insane. What do you recommend to somebody who's playing at a table like this?
You're talking about goosing guys, straddling guys.
Now, Ray and Donna both in my ear said, get a table change. What happens if you can't? What happens if you're in a tournament? And this is the table you're stuck at?
Put some headphones on. Of course, you can't do that at this table.
And what happens if you're already in the money and you can't put headphones on?
You can't put money. You can't put headphones on the money.
In the World Series of Poker, a lot of the bigger events, once they make it into the money, there's no headphones allowed.
Really? Is that because of collusion, wireless technology?
I don't know the reason.
Oh, this is the best. Who's like straddle?
Well, I think if you're a good enough poker player, Dave, you can phase out and tune out distractions. So just kind of find your little place and tune them out.
Kind of like Happy Gilmore?
Yeah.
Get your happy place?
Live straddle here by Patrick.
First live straddle of the night.
20 to go.
And Patrick might raise this.
Yeah, he's got 8-7 offsuit.
That means nothing. Now he's going to check it, though.
And he's got the same hand as Dudley.
3 players.
And both players have top pair.
Now, Patrick kind of fancies himself as a laggy kind of, like, I mean, he aspires to be Corporation Mike, I think.
He bets, and Dudley immediately calls.
I'm not even remember what my hand looks like. I don't care.
So we got the same hand here.
Now, I just heard something out of my ear. I heard that
Turn is a 6.
Evelyn wanted Ray to jiggle seat number 6's cord.
Now look at this.
What does that mean?
Patrick is bet out again here.
I'm getting there. I'm slow.
I think we can wait until after the hand.
I think Donna's going to go over there and jiggle his cord.
Well, it's a 1-card straight out there now, Dave.
I don't care about the hand. Somebody's jiggling somebody's cord. I want to know what's going on.
Dudley calls again here, and you wonder what Patrick's going to do here on the river. He's been known to push here. He has definitely been known to push this river. And here we go to the river. And the river is the K7, Dave. Are you kidding me?
Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. You first, buddy.
He's doing a voodoo dance over there.
What's his bet?
300?
And Patrick's going to bet 300.
300?
300.
Is he going to put all 300 out that slow?
Oh, is it 100 or 300?
1, 2. I call it 300.
He did say 300.
And they're going to chop this up.
Dudley calls.
7. Maybe you win by another 7. That's all
What's
I
your
got.
kicker?
Well, if Dudley has a 7, I don't like my hand if I have 7-8 here.
No, you can't.
But they're going to chop it up.
You can only beat 7-5.
I'll lose. You win.
I guess 7 deuce.
Okay, you win. What you got?
7 shot.
Oh no! You devil! Nice hand, baby. I like it. I like it. I like it. Nice hand. Oh, you good hand. That's a nice hand. Put it there, bud. I like that hand. Nice hand. Nice hand.
Hey, hand it to Patrick. You know what? A lot of guys wouldn't have put up with the shenanigans that Dudley's doing. I wasn't sure if Patrick was going to give him a finger there.
Yeah, the finger.
Well, you know, I mean, the guy did slow roll him before with the nuts, so you weren't sure.
Like, no way he's gonna fight.
And apparently Ray is getting on his knees and he's going to jiggle Patrick's cord. There you go. There you go. You really give it a good yank, Ray.
Dave, we got a little bit over half an hour left in the show. Nobody is going to be my paddle tennis partner, huh?
Mine's right here, gentlemen.
Dealer, give me 5 blues, please.
Pocket aces for He-Man.
He-Man's played it pretty tight here so far.
Yeah, he really has.
I check. Anyone puts $1 in, I'm making
That's
it.
classic. I got to be careful what I do to Ray, man. He's
He's a big guy.
much bigger than me. Much bigger than me. I mean, that's not saying much, but he's a big guy.
You like that
And He-Man's going to raise it up here on the
I
button.
guarantee you Patrick calls this. Yeah, he's going to. Patrick loves to call with these kind of hands. He loves to try to snap off those big hands.
Wait,
One more
wait,
call
wait.
I call.
Wait, you might have
One
a
more call I call.
tough guy.
One more call I call. I call anyway. You don't call I call.
Dudley's in
One
there.
more caller I call. One more caller I call. Okay, I call anyway. Classic.
So here we go. 153 ways, Dave.
Well,
King, Jack, 4. No help. And Patrick is going to bluff at it here.
Pocket ace.
Patrick is going to bluff. He bets 50. Let's see what He-Man's going to do. 50 into a $150 pot.
more importantly, I won my prop bet against Allen.
$200 raise. I heard that. Yeah, Pajeto beat out Allen.
Yeah, now they were going to last longer in that satellite, that shootout, double shootout that we have going on for our Legends main event. And Jay Siegel, our local potato, was in it against Allen. They had a last longer going on. And, well, they actually, I was backing Potato Head, and Allen was backing himself. And that's Jay made me $100.
If anyone didn't understand the breadfruit reference, if anyone saw that Wikipedia link, that is a staple of a tropical kind of country. It is staple food.
Breadfruit
It's not
actually,
really that tasty.
You know where I saw breadfruit a lot,
Kind
actually?
of dried.
Jamaica.
Yeah, yeah.
When I was staying in Jamaica.
It is a citrus fruit, right? It's got that.
They had breadfruit trees all around.
Yeah, supposedly from that little blurb, it's the pretty much. I don't know what word I'm trying to use to describe it, but it actually produces the most fruit of any fruit on the tree. Like there's more of those fruit produced than any other fruit tree.
I think we've exhausted this conversation.
Look at this hand for Eric here. 5-6 of clubs, 7-4-5 pair, open-ended straight flush draw. What a monster! And Dudley's gonna call. And Patrick is going to be heads up. If he gets it heads up with Dudley, he's on total free roll here. And he's ahead. Who's ahead with a pair of 5s? I mean, Dudley would have to hit an offsuit 9 here. And the turn is an 8, and Eric makes a straight flush.
Is that a second straight flush in the last 30 minutes?
2-card straight flush. I got to tell you, if you're Eric here, you hope the guy is maybe on the nut flush draw, and you continue to bet. And he bets here again.
I don't know if Dudley's going to be scared of this.
Dudley's
Dudley's got a straight now.
I love the bet there. A 9 is a straight. If he has a flush, if he's got the nut flush, you have him beat, Dave. With the
any
straight
6 is a straight, but 6-9 is the nut straight.
Yeah, Dudley's got the nut straight here.
I mean, he can beat a 6.
And the river is a 6. And I might move all in here. Well, you know what? Dudley is deep here, but he's got a 9.
I mean, I think you bet a couple $100 though for sure, and you hope your opponent has a 9, or you think that maybe they're hoping to chop it up.
Eric's going to bet 300 here.
And Dudley's really put to the test here. Can't beat a flush, can't beat 9-10, but it's really tough to put your opponent on 9-10.
Dudley's showing a 9 there. Boy, is that nice to have somebody on the nut flush draw there, Dave, huh?
Another shot of Patron there. I don't even think Kelsey enjoyed that one.
Huh? Don't go over the top. Oh, I'm never going to go over the top. You got me beat. I know what you got.
Eric has the stone cold nuts here.
I'm not calling you. I'm just going to see.
Oh, that'd be fun.
Ask Gus to get up.
I'm not going to call.
No, nice.
No way. Just fold.
Please. Yes. Or somebody.
Fold. You're folding. God. Talking outside the hand.
Tell him it's just for 20 minutes.
It's okay. It's okay. Just
Well, Mike can play over him.
That's what I mean, just for 20
Donna,
minutes.
Mike can play over him. Donna?
Yes.
Yeah, but did you tell him that Mike can play over his chips, though?
He knows.
He does know. He said no? What a bastard. And Dudley has not done anything yet here.
8, 9, 10. I win $100 if I don't call. If I call, I'm losing.
The pot is about $800, $300 to call.
Hey, I mean, it's a tough spot here. Obviously, you can't beat a flush.
Yeah.
You figure if the guy doesn't have a flush and you've got him beat, would Eric make this play with, say, a 6 or a 5? With just nothing. I mean, with just playing the board. Would Eric bluff? I mean, Eric is capable of bluffing here. And he says he can't beat the flush. I mean, you got to hand it to Dudley here. Lloyd. I wanted to call him Lloyd for a second. Got to hand it to Dudley for at least, figuring out that he can be beat here. At this point, he's got to make a decision, though.
And he calls. And Eric's got a straight flush.
Yeah, and the straight flush takes it down.
Nice hand there for Eric. And Eric kept betting it, Dave. He kept betting the straight flush. I love it on the turn. He built himself a pot up there, and Dudley felt the pot was so big.
You've got to hope the guy's got a bigger flush. You hope the guy's got the ace-high flush, and he raises you on the river, and then you can move all in on him.
Look at this post by C. Bloom on 2+2. He says, I love Dudley. Nice to see someone actually happy to make a hand instead of sour old grinders like Dr. Beebe who scowl at ace-ace because they expect it to get cracked.
Hey, you know what? I have no problem with this guy. We always talk about poker. These guys are coming here to have a good time. Dudley is having a good time. He-Man's got kings now.
Pocket kings here for He-Man. Pocket jacks for Bob and ace-queen suited for Gus. So let's see. I'm sure He-Man's going to open here for a raise.
No, I'm supposed to lay down. No, I'm supposed to lay down.
That's a small piece of furniture.
All right, he raises. He makes it 40 to go.
I'm not quite sure what Corporation Mike would do in this game.
I'm supposed to lay down.
You won't lay down.
Stupid.
I mean, it's a little small for him, isn't it?
Well, yeah, but I mean, he plays in the 5-10 game, though. I mean, there's
This
no
is a
10-20
small
game.
5-10 game.
Well,
Oh, no, actually, at this point, though, at this point, with BB's got money,
Eric's
got money, Kelsey's got money,
Patrick is going to call with queen, deuce of diamonds, and now Gus has ace queen.
300, 500.
Dude, we've had 2 straight flushes tonight.
And look at this. Actually, He-Man made it 40. Patrick re-raised. He mini re-raised to 80 with queen, deuce of diamonds. Wow.
Okay?
That's going to get Kelsey out. Now, what does Bob do here with jacks? Raise and a re-raise.
Okay? We'll straighten the board.
See if Bob is going to come in here. Bob does not have enough money to play this as a set, Dave, with jacks.
Yes. Yeah.
Call.
I know.
Call the 80.
He makes the call.
70 more?
He makes the call. So now there's some dead money in here, and a He-Man might push. Raise, re-raise, and a call.
Straighten the board, right?
Raise to 380.
And He-Man's going to make it 380 more. Or 380 total. He's going to raise 300 more. That should easily get Patrick and Bob out of the hand. Raise, re-raise, call, re-raise. Patrick is out.
You can make $100.
And I'm sure that's
How
going to
many
get
times
Bob out of
can you
there.
say that 10 times fast?
Raise, re-raise, call, re-raise. Raise, re-raise,
Don't,
call,
don't,
re-raise.
don't. Stop. I just thought about it. I go, you know what? I don't want to hear that 10 times. I'm sorry.
You know what I mean, Bob? I know. You agree with me. I just made a...
Got about 20 minutes left here.
I got to tell you, between George on Friday night, my prop bets in the booth,
I got even and I call a stupid.
I'm really supplementing my income here. This is fabulous.
What was the first prize, Art?
I got to come up with more prop bets.
It's a good prize pool.
You want to make a bet, red or black?
I don't have that type of disease, Dave.
First tournament?
I have many other diseases.
What, are you scared?
40.
Want to make a prop bet on how many shots we can do? I'll have to do twice as many as you do. See
Okay.
who stands up the longest.
No problem. Let's do it.
And have you seen that that scene in Raiders of the Lost Ark, like in the beginning of the movie,
Oh, it's
with
great.
those guys in Nepal,
Yeah.
and that chick like out drinking all those Nepali guys in the Himalayan mountains? Raised here by Kelsey with Ace Jack suited.
Take it down.
She outdrank that big dude, that big.
I'm really competitive. I take you up on that. I have no problem. I start practicing.
But the thing is,
Email here from Sam. He says, "Is Dudley a pro?" Question mark.
Yeah, he's a professional antique dealer.
Yeah.
Now, most of the guys you see on this show are not professional poker players. These guys are recreational poker players that are here to have a good time. It's a nice view of Kelsey.
Paul Ferdiani says, "The bad actor can use a BlackBerry, but Seat 6 can't drown out Dudley Dumbass with his iPod? That doesn't seem fair." Well, Kelsey's not supposed to be using an iPod. Four-way action here.
Set of fours for He-Man.
Yep.
He's on fire, man. Aces, kings. Now he's got a set of fours. And he checks it. And
With
Patrick's
the
going to
ace
bet.
out there, too, Dave.
And he's going to let Patrick bet it now. Now, this is a different game. You can induce a bluff because Patrick will bluff.
Right.
Anybody making straight flushes on this?
And it is the rare case where I might just check call, check call, check call. Well, check raise at the end. Honestly, I might check it 3 times to Patrick.
Well, now you got Dudley who's called in between
Okay, well,
with
in
a
that
gut
case-
shot wheel draw.
In that case, I'm raising. But if it was heads up,
Now, He-Man
I'm
just
probably
calls.
not going to let Patrick off the hook. I'm going to make him bet it.
Turns an 8, now Dudley picks up a pair, and Patrick's camera, oh, no, it's back. And it gets checked around here. And the river is a third club, and He-Man has really slow played this hand.
And if somebody had a flush draw, I mean, I'm surprised.
And He-Man's not even going to put any money out on the river, and Patrick's going to bet 75. I assume He-Man, can he overcall with the set here? I guess
easily.
you could. Yeah.
Easily.
Yeah.
Overcall? Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
you can almost raise it. You can almost over-raise it. But
I don't
mean,
know if you can raise. I mean, Patrick's not an
I mean,
idiot.
the thing about it, Dudley's checked it. Dudley's checked and called here. He's not going to bet.
Yeah.
He is not going to. Well, he's actually going to throw this away.
Yeah, and a call here.
Yeah.
You got a flush?
But I got to tell you, though, I understand you can say you could play that hand against Patrick in that manner, but you also
Not
might,
when a third player comes in then.
yeah, but you also might lose some value if you're deep stacked, because I don't know if Patrick ever lays down an ace there.
No, he might not.
But he's going to keep betting, you're saying.
He might not, but
Yeah.
he probably has nothing 50% of the time.
Yeah.
You might bet into him one time. I mean, you might bet into him and let him. You might bet into him, kind of like pretending to be weak, and let him raise you.
Like a weak bet.
Yeah, I mean something like that. You might even just bet into him and see if he can raise you, see if he can like make a play on you.
Look at this. It's He-Man's hand again here. Pocket
Are you
kings.
kidding me? So in the last like 6 minutes, this guy's got aces, kings, and fours. But when he had fours, he had a set.
Well, he should really raise it again. Make it look like he is trying to loosen up here. I'd make a big raise. I love having a bunch of big hands right in a row, Dave.
JR doing some dancing.
He's going to make it 50, and now you can see that the raises are getting larger as the stack sizes get larger, as they should.
Yeah, of course. We probably got close to $10,000 on the table now.
No, he's not going to get any action here. Let's see if he shows the kings. Yep. Tomorrow night, 20-40, no limit hold'em. $2,000 minimum.
Thursday, we're going to kind of keep it open. We're not sure what we're going to have. The tournament on Thursday, though, is a...
No limit hold'em. I'm going to go out on the limb and say that.
You're correct. It's a $200 buy-in tournament, so get some interesting folks in here today. Friday's event is a no limit hold'em $100 buy-in with multi-rebuys, $30,000 guaranteed tournament. And once again, all these tournaments start at 4:15 p.m. So if you are a no limit hold'em tournament addict, the Bicycle Casino is the place to be.
Dudley's got ace queen here in the big blind. It's folded around to Eric. And he's got queen 9 off suit. He's going to fold it, and they're going to chop this one up. Oh, maybe no. Oh, Kelsey doesn't chop, I guess. He's going to limp in, and Dudley's going to raise. Don't mind that at all in position.
No, it's great.
25 more. Kelsey's going to call, and how much money is Kelsey going to lose here if an ace flops? Well, he's outflopped him. King, king, 4. Kelsey Moore with the drunk act.
Yeah.
I think everybody else at the table's also figured out maybe that he's not.
Really?
I don't know, maybe not.
You messing with me? I checked. You just messing with me, dude.
Check, check here, Dave. Turns a 5.
I don't want to toot my own horn, but I'm really wondering how many people knew it before I said anything. I know Evelyn did.
Check, check again. River's a 10. Now I don't know if there's any necessary. Yeah. Ace 4 is going to take it down there.
Donna's actually claiming that she knew.
I beat you.
She said that she thought he was drunk.
Yeah.
That's what she said earlier.
You gotta change your...
She's changing her tune.
Yeah.
You let change. You let change.
Oh, so Donna was trying to play along with it. Can we give that information out now? So now we'll get word that the shots...
shots were just
what a bunch
water?
of bullshit. The shots were water, Donna's telling us now. Kelsey was taking what? That is a disgrace.
You haven't beaten me once. You just took off my man. You haven't beaten me once.
Oh, that is a disgrace.
You ought to be ashamed of yourself.
He's taking shots of water.
A grown man.
Oh, my God. Oh. Shots of water. Now it's really...
No, I mean, I will say Kelsey's already said, though. He says that he plays on this show to kind of try new things. One day he'll play it tight. One day he'll play it strong. One day he'll play
But he was never showing down anything garbage like you think he would be drunk. He's going to show down some shit, right?
If you're going to be drunk, you got to go all the way. You got to commit to it.
Yeah. That's
Like
unbelievable.
Ace-Jack suited here for Gus, and
I beat him all the rest.
he's made a kind of a little $35 raise here.
You think I'm gonna call
Eric's going to call him with a suited ace. He's got Ace-7 of diamonds.
Go home, man. You don't know what to play poker is.
This is kind of like my friend when I'm...
Your one
have to
friend,
go-
the Liz Lou
have to
set
go-
page.
go home.
Has Liz Lou gone back to brunette, or she's still blonde?
I don't know. I think she's still blonde as far as I know. 10-6-80 or a couple clubs.
Yeah, Eric's got a gut shot straight draw. No diamonds out there, though.
Patrick's
no
in there with
spades.
7 deuce of hearts. He's got a straight draw as well. Turn is a king, so now he picks up a flush draw with the straight draw. He checks it again.
Wow, really?
Yeah, 7 deuce of hearts.
That's unlike Patrick.
And now Gus is going to bet with ace-jack. going to represent that king.
Why not?
He was the pre-flop raiser.
Gus, you're right, though.
And Patrick's going to check and call.
Wow, if he was going to commit that, I would just check raise there or bet the turn, right?
I think you got to bet the turn. I think if he bets the turn, he takes it down.
Now, is he going to bluff? And look at this. Gus makes the nuts here on the river.
Well, he might bluff, but it's not going to work.
He's got the nuts. He's got ace-jack.
And Patrick throws it away. Gus takes it down. Patrick's one of those players, well, I mean, like a lot of laggy players, he can be real dangerous when the deck is hitting him in the head. But when it's not going his way, he really bleeds chips.
You like that natural body there by Liz Lou?
Is that natural?
Live strudel.
I was just giving the, not quite sure there.
I don't know. I was actually
Ronnie-
saying it as a joke.
Oh, Ronnie pointing out that this is probably not the best game for Patrick. When you get a kind of a calling station game that doesn't really let Patrick run over.
Yeah.
20 to call?
I'm all right. I wasn't doing it today. I made one bad play.
Live straddle here by.
Are you saying that Liz Lou has implants?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
I always thought she was natural.
That would be something if those were natural. We talk about it all here on Live at the Bike.
16. Wasn't bad at call, though. If you watch a tape, dude.
Funny thing is, though, if you talk with women who have implants, right, they're not ashamed. You can ask them. They're not insulted by it.
I don't know. I don't have implants. I wouldn't.
Right, well. They want to show them
can't
off,
speak for
Donna,
them.
right?
I would assume so.
Isn't that right? Sometimes they'll let you
There's
feel
that great
it.
movie with John Candy. What was that great movie? He was at the beach, and the wife who had the implants goes, "Here, feel them."
Yeah, I think that happens in real life, too. Right? King Deuce 3 here on the flop.
Post here from Baron Bengatoni goes, "Hey, Tuck, perhaps with fewer prop bets, there would be fewer depressing under-the-gun installments like the latest." Maybe you're on to something, man. I'm telling you.
All right.
We got a new feature coming up on Live at the Bike. It's the video blog. David and I kind of doing a little show in here, answering your questions and going through some of the hands that we've played throughout the week.
I thought we were going to do it separately. We're going to do it together?
Yeah. I thought. I mean, it was kind of a conversation.
Okay.
We got a bet here by, was it by Kelsey with
No,
5?
oh, it was. Wow.
Yeah, He-Man check call with King 10. Turns an 8. Kelsey goes check, check, and the river's a 4.
You know what, Gary?
And the problem with Heenan, the way he plays this hand is, okay, he's going to win the minimum. Now, if a 5, if like the 5 of clubs were to come on that river, you know Kelsey's going to bet, and Heenan's probably going to pay him off. Notice how he's winning the minimum. Question here from William Frick. Dave, do you think you got some of your acting roles because you look a little like that dude in Mr. and Mrs. Smith? I'm assuming he's talking about Jim Carrey?
Let's take a look at the last chip count here of the night.
Live at the Bike here.
8,800 total. BB's ruling table with 2,300. Let's see how these guys did it the whole night.
Eric up 900. He-Man up 7 now. Patrick down 850. He's only been in the show for 25 minutes.
Well, Ace Queen here. We're going to play Patrick's hand blind for the rest of the show, Dave, because his camera's out again. I don't necessarily want to bother him. $30 raise here by Kelsey with pocket deuces. A smooth call with Ace Queen here by Dudley. Now the button in seat 4, he's got Ace King suited. What is he going to do? Can you re-raise? I mean, 30. That's kind of a little pussy
On the
raise.
button, on the button, you can definitely re-raise this. I might make it 90.
He's going to call.
Jared's going to call. He's dominated by clubs here. Now, if an ace comes, is Dudley going to go broke?
7-7-4 here, and pocket deuces are good right now.
And Dudley dodges a bullet, and it's funny. A player like Dudley, I don't even know if he realizes that he dodged a bullet. If an ace comes there, he might double He-Man up. Flop comes out ace-7 deuce. Well, ace-7 deuce, definitely. But ace-7 rag, ace-7 4. You wonder if he can get away from ace-queen.
Kelsey's going to continuation bet.
Rick, a.k.a. the Sleeping Giant, sends us an email. He says, hey, when it comes to who can do more shots and remain standing, my money is on Bart. Sorry, Dave.
I think that's a smart bet. Kelsey has made the continuation bet. And we're going to have a treat for the last 8 minutes of the show. Corporation Mike is coming into the game. By the time he gets here, the show will probably be over. Which wonders why someone told me that in my ear. No,
What's Ray saying at Dudley?
I don't know. Here's a good shot of that empty seat in seat 9.
Yeah.
Where'd BB go? He just left?
Yeah.
Oh, he said he had to take a couple aspirin. He was getting a headache.
What a surprise. Wow.
I mean, do you blame him?
Yeah. Now, if you missed any part of this show, well, yeah, if you missed any part of the show and you want to watch it, you can actually watch it on a live loop. We replay it at 11 p.m. tonight, Pacific time, and then replay it every 3 hours until 5 p.m. tomorrow. And you can watch the entire week show on Sunday starting at noon.
Patrick's moving over to seat 9. Limp here by Dudley, 5'6", off suit.
You and him now. Oh.
Baby, I got this. I'm like, whoa. I got him. You first, you sucker. You first, you sucker. Go for it.
King 10 Jack here on the flop. Gus is open-ended.
And Gus doesn't bet it?
Go, dealer. What's wrong with you?
I'm in no hurry. Want to make sure you should check.
Sheila's got to be here anyway.
Okay, I check again.
I tell you, this is really some entertaining poker going on here. You can't catch this anywhere else, only at Live at the Bike.
You're lying, you're trying to set me up.
Well, Queen Eye's going to win. Dudley's going to bet here on the river, though, Dave. And he's going to take it down. There it is.
You know, it's funny, Barry Wood's sitting here and he's kind of, he's kind of all over Dudley, and obviously Dudley was all over Barry Woods earlier. And I thought last...
6 high. You are nobody in my league, dude. I'll whip you anytime. Like I'll whip you like your mama used to whip you.
And fittingly, Infinite One on 2+2 says, tonight's show is like more of a daytime soap opera than like a poker show. What were you saying about Barry Woods?
I was going to say, I actually thought Barry Woods and Dudley were kind of playing with each other, but I guess it got serious.
You see, hey, you didn't see that, dude? You didn't see that one? I whip him.
And Johnny says, I guess Kelsey does not subscribe to method acting.
I whipped him. I whipped him again. Oh my God, that was.
I mean, you're an actor, and I've done some limited acting. You have more experience. If you ever had to play a role drunk, would it be out of the realm of possibility to actually be somewhat drunk? If it was a live performance?
No, you don't want to be drunk. No. You got to act drunk. That's acting. You wouldn't want to because you've got to do things. You've got to be responsible to like hit a mark, hit it, certain things.
Well, that kind of plays into that question.
Right.
I don't think that would.
Yeah. No, clearly, yeah.
King Deuce 8 here on the flop. JR raised it with Ace King. He's got the best hand. Although I will say in boat movies where there's a lot of, say, people in water, in cold water, like Poseidon or Titanic.
Right.
Sometimes they don't heat the water and they keep it cold for more of a natural reaction.
Yeah. I don't doubt that at all.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think acting drunk is that difficult. If you remember when you were like 14 years old, and I'm not sure if everybody did this, but I'm sure, I know I did it. I'm assuming most people acted this way. When you're 14 years old and there's a nice shot of Corporation Mike.
There's Mike. And Dudley just called him Baldy.
What?
And Mike said, I hate to say it, I'm going to bust you.
What did he say? I didn't hear. What did he say?
Can we keep the show going for like 10 minutes?
I know.
Just tonight. I mean, it's finally going to get good. Anyway, I was going to say, if you go back to when you were like 13, 14 years old and you had your first couple of beers and you acted drunk because you were like, you wanted to.
No, he's over here.
If you were to like just kind of like go back to that time and get like basically a beer bottle in your hand, you could put anything you want in there and drink it. And just remember when you were 15 years old, it's not that hard.
Did you watch the movie Go?
I've seen it.
When Katie Holmes was selling Zantac as ecstasy, and all those kids were acting like they were rolling around.
Of course.
On cold medication.
Well, there's a reason why the whole placebo effect. There's a
yeah.
I don't want to go over the head, dude. I'm not doing
There's truth to that.
I don't want to do anything about it.
I imagine if you gave a 15-year-old kid or a 14-year-old guy, if you gave him beer, what tasted like beer, and he thought it was real beer, and you gave him like a six-pack of it, but it was completely non-alcoholic, and he didn't know it, though, I bet you he'd be acting drunk within an hour.
I raised your fine. You can't do nothing about it.
And look at this. Seat 3 said he raised blind. He's got deuce 3 offsuit. And let's see what Mike is going to do. He's got ace 8. Is he going to re-raise, Dave? And this is going to be fun. And here it is. He re-raises. Now, Bob has ace queen. I wonder if Bob knows Mike. And He-Man smooth called with tens.
And what did Mike re-raise to?
Made it 175. If He-Man played the hand this way, you might re-raise Mike here if you just smooth call with tens.
If you're He-Man, yeah, He-Man, you might smooth call, you might re-raise. What would you do with tens if you were in this position against Mike?
Well, I would have re-raised the blind raise, number one.
Right.
So I wouldn't have really had this predicament, I don't think. Although, maybe not. Maybe I consider if I call that raise, it's just a limp, obviously. You know?
No, it's difficult to run this table over, but if there's anybody who could do it, it's Mike.
Wow, I'm real surprised. I mean, this is a very tight laydown here.
He-Man doesn't know Mike.
I guess not.
You get a raise, a call, and then a re-raise. He's representing a big hand, isn't he?
Yeah, ace 8 offsuit.
And He-Man, you know what? He-Man is up a lot of money. He might not be comfortable losing that. He's up $800. He doesn't want to lose what he's gained already.
If Mike sticks around this table, I think he can easily have all of Dudley's chips here pretty soon.
Well, at some point, probably. And this is one of those nights where I kind of wish the show was from 8 to 11.
What the hell is going on here? The guy's got 8, 9 of clubs. Jesus.
Yeah, and nobody's going to call on. He shows him the ace. Chester says here, hey, he said that he was telling me one day. Chester actually came over and he was trying to tell me how he bluffed Mike out of a hand. And unfortunately, I was in the middle of a game, and I was kind of like, listen, I didn't want to be rude, but I was like, listen, Chester, I'm not going to be listening to you at all right now. I was like, tell me at a different time. And if anybody on 2+2, or if one of my friends actually comes to me while I'm in a game, don't take it personal if I don't listen to you while I'm playing, because obviously I'm trying to make a living. Feel free to email me, feel free to PM me, or feel free to come get me before the show or when I'm not playing. I guess it's one of those things, though, you know, between our show and being married, I don't have that much time to play. I kind of want to maximize it.
Lived around here. Queen 10-9 with a couple of clubs. Kelsey's open-ended here. We know Gus and Kelsey, they watch the show a lot. I don't know if either of them have actually played with Mike before.
Yeah, I really wonder what Patrick's going to act with Mike here. Well, Patrick's got no money.
Kelsey's got the second nut flush draw, a pair of deuces, and he's got a gut shot.
30.
And now Mike takes a shot at it for 30.
And you really wonder, I mean, Mike really puts everybody back on their heels.
Yeah.
It's tough to play your game against this guy. He makes you change your game.
Well, did Kelsey call? No, he folded.
No, he folded.
He actually waited for Dudley to call out a turn, and that made it easier for him to fold. The river here is an 8. Check, and Mike's going to need to bet here.
How much?
100.
I got lucky, man. I got a straight.
Yeah, you got a straight? Show me the jack then, man. Just for the freaking hell of it. Just show me the jack.
Okay, I'll show you.
Is that going to work, Dave?
It might. I've heard Mike do it before.
And he folds. Let's see if he shows. He shows the 3, he shows the bluff.
I love that. I got lucky.
All right,
I got lucky. I got a straight. I got lucky. I got a straight.
This is going to be... I wish this show could go on for a while.
I misread my hand, man. I thought I had a straight.
It was a jack of clubs.
Yeah, I got 9. I got a 9. I don't care. So it's an easy bluff.
We're going to do 5 minutes extra, Dave.
Okay.
5 minutes extra.
No big deal. You're right.
No big deal. So what?
Button moves over here to seat 2.
So what?
Can you imagine if Mike was in the whole game the whole time with a different dynamic?
Oh, of course. Well, that's the thing. That's the nature of No Limit Hold'em. One new player adds so much to a game. Even if Patrick were in the game the whole time, probably would have been really different. Patrick
got
lost
some
that.
chips.
Yeah, he lost that first buy-in though right away. Mike's not going to play a hand.
Limped in here by Gus with ace-6 offsuit.
Greek Vaseline. And when I push it up there, I wipe the Vaseline off, dude.
Greek, what did I tell you, man?
Straddling.
Some interesting conversation about Vaseline and shoving it up someplace.
Kelsey do it all the time,
You
man.
know what? Next time, bud, your head's gonna be the one going up there, dude. You know, all the way the Vaseline rubbing over your head. You keep it up next time.
Oh, God.
And you know what?
Well, you know, thinking about it, Mike having a bald head. Now, I mean, I didn't really want to go there, but if we're going to go there, why not?
After that,
Bob would top pair here.
my
Mike's bald head probably would go up. I mean, if you Vaselined it off, wouldn't it? I mean, it would be easier than if it was all hairy.
next time,
Oh,
you keep it
good
up.
Lord. Bob Betzag with King Queen here.
I'm not going anywhere, man.
40.
Try it again, dude. You know what? Try it again.
And Eric is going to call here with 7-10.
And look at Dudley. Dudley goes, try it again. Try it again. And Mike's like, I will. Don't worry. No doubt.
Try it again. I knew it was a bluff. But
See, now, one of the reasons why I love playing a game with Mike, I don't necessarily really go after Mike, but I love what he does to the game now.
you would gamble.
I'll gamble with you.
You would gamble. You would gamble. I like that. You know, I respect you.
Turns at 3.
I respect you. You will gamble. I'm not saying for seat 7. That fucking whip this son of a gun. You
refuse to play against me.
Bob bets again.
The only thing about it, the only good thing about you is a chicken always live to fight again another day.
You're right.
A chicken always live to fight
You
another
don't get
day.
splashed, huh?
Yeah, you don't get splashed. A chicken-
Eric's out of here. I think that we can kind of let the game speak for itself here in the last 5 minutes.
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
It really is.
Well, he's a double.
Once again, make sure you catch us tomorrow night. 2040, no limit hold'em. Unrestricted buy-in. Probably close to $75,000 on the table.
Live straddle here by Mike. And I'm going to let this one play out.
Who's live straddle?
Be on your toes, Ronnie.
You know, don't look at your damn cards, dude. Don't look at it. You're straddling. Put it on the line. Don't look at it. You son of a gun.
Gus has got aces. He's in first
I don't
position.
care. You live straddle. So what?
Oh,
He's
that's-
going to limp.
Yo.
Yeah, well, you know what? With Mike in the game and this guy in the game, he thinks maybe he can get the old limp re-raise play.
All right.
I'm gonna give up $50.
Let's just call the bet sizes here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Put your cards right there.
I didn't look at it. I'm gonna raise it 20.
Mini raise
I'm raising it 20.
to 40
I didn't look.
on the button.
I just want to see what you
Difference
do.
between a duck and a chicken.
Yeah.
Dudley.
Yes. I didn't look at it. I want to see what you do. You do, Gus.
Notice how
Let's see if you
notice
got
how
something.
Dudley's not even paying attention to Gus. That's what you love about Mike in the game.
Let me see if you got something.
Two dangerous players.
Yeah. It's either a twig, plank. Let's see what you got, Gus.
Yeah, we're here. Yes, he's thinking.
See, he can't re-raise too much because he got Gus behind. He's scared of Gus. He's not scared of me. He's scared of Gus. He's scared of Gus. You're scared of Gus. He calls Gus.
Call by
Gus,
Mike.
What you gonna do? Raise him.
And Gus has got aces, and he limped.
Yeah, there's about $130
Gus
in the pot,
pushes it up. Okay.
and Gus is gonna re-raise,
100 more?
and this will probably go fold.
I didn't look.
Mike's got to pay attention to the player here and the stack size. Yeah. And this is going to be it. This is going to be the last hand of the night here.
I'll give you free money there, Gus.
So we had a couple of bonus hands.
One for the drop, please, Gus?
I didn't look at this. Yeah, ace deuce.
And maybe we can get this combination another time this week, Dave, Dudley and Mike on the table.
Really, Dudley? Another night?
Yeah.
Man.
I don't know, I think maybe Donna might go insane out there. Button's going to move over here to seat 4. Again, you can join us tomorrow for 2040 No Limit.
Who's that?
And by the way, the movie is Summer Rental. Yeah, I got it right. Where John Candy. Will you touch my fake boobs? That one. Go ahead, feel them.
Barry Woods writes on 2+2, does Mike only have a gay pink wardrobe?
What's your name again, Don?
I just want to plant a big one on him.
Mike?
75 more?
Now it gets limped around, and Mike raises it out of the blind, 75 more. Is Dudley going to call with deuce 4 here?
Isn't Mike's shirt kind of lavender, though? I was going to say, it looks kind of purplish.
Damn it. All right.
I mean, it's still somewhat gay.
Well, we got to see one more flop, right? That's our rule, of course, unless we don't see 2 straight flops, and then we sign off. So one more hand. I mean, no offense to JR, but a lot of the reason why this game was so slow is because of him in seat 5. I mean, he's got $200 in front of him. It seems like he takes forever with all of his decisions.
Yeah, he really thinks each decision through, which is not necessarily a bad thing. It just doesn't make great TV.
King 7 of spades for Dudley. You know he's going to play that one. Well, Eric's got ace king suited.
Corporation Mike with a queen 9 offsuit.
I guarantee you that Mike is going to call Eric here. Eric's going to raise it up.
40.
Makes it 40. Dudley immediately calls. Mike might come over the top here in the small blind.
Now, Eric has not adjusted his raise size, even though he now has $1,000 more than when he had it in the beginning of the show.
Yeah.
He probably needs to raise it more like 60 now, 55.
2 callers here, Gus and Mike, and we're going to see a $160 pot here for the flop.
4 players.
Well, it's missed to everybody here. 10, 3, 10. But Eric has got clubs and overcards. It's a big flop for him.
Missed is a big word. I mean, Gus has got trip 10s.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah.
And it gets checked around, Dave. The turn's a 7. Eric didn't bet the flop, and neither did Gus. And now Mike is going to take a shot at it. And let's see what Gus does here.
Would you ever just call this and let somebody stick in behind you?
It's a $120 bet here by Mike.
Obviously, a lot of ways to play this hand. He knows there's a good chance Mike's got absolutely nothing.
Dudley's picked up a 7 now.
It's just absolutely amazing. I cannot believe Eric did not bet that flop. I mean, ace king of clubs. Aren't you betting that flop?
Gus is going to min raise here, it looks like.
You see?
And now I think Eric's put in a spot where he needs to fold.
Oh, yeah.
Most
you can't,
likely.
You have to put Gus on a 10 here, and you cannot call this. You got to realize the 7 of clubs is no good for sure. And whatever Gus's kicker is might not be good. Now, in this case, Gus has actually got a 9 of clubs in his hand.
This is probably going to go fold, and that's probably going to do it for us tonight. Eric folds.
You know what? I got a pair of these.
I think Dudley's going to fold. King 7.
You block as well?
And Mike is out of there. Yeah. And Gus is going to take it down. That's going to do it for us tonight.
Yeah.
So, again, join us tomorrow, 2040 no limit, $2,000 min buy-in. Hope everybody enjoyed tonight. It was kind of an interesting night, Dave, wasn't it?
To say the least.
So, we'll see you tomorrow, same time, 7 o'clock Pacific. For everybody here in the booth, and for Dave, I'm Bart. Good night.
Yeah. Good night.
It's here. It's big. And it's closer than you think. It's not a tournament. It's what you don't see on TV. The cash is real. The stakes are high. They bet big. They win big. They lose big. High stakes live action poker. Live at the bike. Watch it live on the web or play it if you dare at the Bicycle Casino right here in Los Angeles.